Well, I'm on camera now. What's up, guys? Hey, my babishkas, how we doing? Welcome to the new kitchen. If this is your first time joining us, I'm just going to adjust my monitor here so I can see things a little better. How y'all doing? What's up with you? What's up with you folks? How's your Thursday? Kitchen says hi. 7 in the chat. It's early. If you want to ask me anything, now's the time. It's going to get crazy later. Risotto really gets the asses in the seats, you know? So, buckle up. Got to get my apron straight here, guys. You know how much of a fan of symmetry I am. Can't have a asymmetrical apron. Let's see. How was my coffee? It was good, thank you. What, did you see me get coffee? Did you creep on me? Can you guys hear me okay? I got the little lav mic going here. You guys, oh, I hear a siren. Jake, oh no, it's because I'm connected to Jake in my ears, that's why. All right, guys, everybody say hi to, as soon as the sirens go by, we'll say hi to my man behind the scenes, Sawyer Jacobs, one of the thick boys.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well.
If it's a little quiet, you can turn up your speakers.
Yeah, we're trying to make the sound nice tonight. Keep it real nice. So let us know.
They're saying that I'm a little low. Can you crank me up just a little bit?
Good. Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Bone apple teeth. Jake boy.
Apple teeth.
Bone apple teeth. Bone apple. That's how you say bone apple teeth. Let's see. We gotta allow people to say thick.
Oh yeah, I have been religiously.
No, I'm just saying we gotta take it off whatever list it's on because I don't want to restrict people from saying thick. Things get thick in here. These are the thick boys we're talking about, and things get a little thick. You know, I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour myself a little drinky poo. Something's going downstairs because I hear sirens for days, so there must be some kind of horrible thing happening downstairs in the New York City streets. So, tonight, because you guys are always curious, I am drinking the Nika coffee grain. They spell coffee kind of silly there. I'm not sure why, but as far as I know, they make this in an old coffee still, which is interesting. And I don't know what a coffee still is. I just read the label. Just read the label. That is the extent of my knowledge on this whiskey. Oh, you know, I wrote a whiskey short story last night, Jake, that I have to share with you. Maybe I'll share it with you guys if I have enough of these in me. Here's to you guys. Happy, oh yeah, neat all the way. You kidding me? Thank you for subscribing, Michael Voss, 170. Thank you guys for all the tips and bits. I see that cup's getting full. We won't empty it just yet, but it's getting full. It doesn't mean coffee. Well, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Apple risotto, oh, big bits, big hit of bits there, thank you. The screen name is Wellfuck, so I'm sorry, but that's how I have to address you. Wellfuck. Apple risotto I can get down with, but it's kind of weird, man. Like, you know, I'm not totally down with that. However, I will say apples are very welcome. In fact, maybe just to prove it to you, I'll put some in the butternut squash risotto we're making tonight, because apples are very welcome in that recipe. So the first thing that we have to do tonight is make a super basic, simple risotto, and just pull up my recipe here. We're doing that in the pressure cooker because it's a very fast and very quick way to make risotto, and we're gonna be able to put it in the fridge so it's ready for frying later on because we're gonna make arancini. Let's keep that in frame. That's some quality whiskey. I'll put it over here. Maybe that's where the tip jar is. About where the tip jar is. Try to line it up. Okay, let's get the old, there she is. Flip her around. Ooh, she's a little dusty. Hasn't seen any action in a little while. Let me focus on that. Get a little rack focus going here. There we go. That's looking better. Let's give her a little dust off. Why not? because we're not in 4K here just yet. We don't have the technological, we don't have the bandwidth yet for 4K, but we are in HD, and you can see dust in HD, and I will not have it. Not on my channel. No, sir. There we go. Let me bring the stream back up here and see what y'all are saying. How many of you guys have slow cookers? This is like the most underutilized appliance in my kitchen because it can make so many things so quickly. It makes the best boeuf bourguignon so quick instead of, oh, bless you. You guys couldn't hear you guys couldn't hear it, but sorry, it just sneezed in my ear. I forgot that they couldn't hear you.
Yeah, thank you. No need to bless me. Thank you, Andrew.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a polite person. I'm really a good guy. Okay, so yeah, that dust it got you. All right, let's see what's waiting for us in here. Here we go. Ooh, a little dust on me. Let's see. Slow cookers are fun. You know, you do one of those Clem H Fandango. You got one of those gizmos that controls the temperature of your slow cooker, so you sous vide in it. That's cool. That's some. Oops, that's upside down. See that whole thing that says this side out? Got to pay attention to that. If it's backwards, that means you ain't doing it right. So I'm placing the seal around the outside. And then I'm going to plug this guy in. This is such a simple way to make risotto that it actually boggles the imagination. And it captures the imagination simultaneously. It's a really cool thing. So let me plug it in here. Get this guy juiced. Get it all juiced up. Okay, so slow cooker is ready to go. And I'm going to set them to the side because we have a little bit of prep work to do. All we got to do is, for this guy, we just got to finely mince an onion. So I'm going to grab me an onion out of here, out of my refrigerator. If you guys haven't seen the new kitchen, it's pretty cool with the fridge setup. I mean, look at this. And what's really exciting is when we have to improvise on this show. And I think we're about to have to do that because I don't see any onions in here. Oh, here's one. There's 3. All right, I'm glad I spoke too soon. But if we didn't have those, I had some shallots in there, and we could have made that work. So one for now, one for later. Get this guy back in the fridge. All right. And my recipe here, so I know what I'm doing. Let's see, fancy French place, risotto and escargot à la minute. Delicious. Fridge drawer, yeah. See that? Got 2 fridges right here. Got 2 freezers right here. Then I got a drinks fridge right here. It's really a wonderful setup. I absolutely love this place. Except we were cursed with a scourge of water bugs last week. They were legion. Just saw one, so I called an exterminator, and they spread some like bait, which just made them all come out of the woodwork, and we were just stomping them. It was terrible. Water bugs are among my least favorite things. Jake was there for it. He murdered a few of them proudly. Thank you for your contributions to the war effort, Jake. And I'm sorry I keep calling Sawyer. His name is Sawyer. I call him Jake because his last name is Jacobs, and we've called him Jake for many years. So I'm sorry if that's confusing. You guys can call him Sawyer and call him Jake. I mean, what do you want to be called, Jake?
Jake's fine.
What's your internet persona going to be?
Yeah, Jake's fine. Jake's fine.
All right.
And the legion of water bugs was just a day. It's all fine now. No one has to worry.
Oh, no more now. I probably shouldn't have said anything. People are probably flipping out and thinking that there's water bugs in the food.
It's New York City. It's an old, beautiful building with many stories to tell.
Yes, and many more to come. Let's tell some stories, shall we? This one starts with an onion, which is a little blown out. That's what I was worried it was going to happen, is it was going to get blown out. But that's okay. You guys know it's an onion. I don't need to tell you. You don't need the camera to tell you, do you? Come on. So what I've been doing lately with, and I know this is like the right thing to do, but what I mean is I've just been starting to do it right, is when I place these what do you, I don't know what you call them, not perpendicular, the whatever they are, these cuts, these initial cuts when I'm gonna finally mince up an onion, you gotta place these cuts very close to one another. I've been using my fingers right here to guide the knife. So you can see the knife is pressed right up against my fingers there. It's not gonna cut my fingers, but my fingers are gonna show it exactly where to go. I'm just putting them, inching them back every time, just a little bit. And then look at what happens as a result. When you use your fingers as a guide, like so, you get nice, small, even cuts. So, little trick. Give it a shot next time you're cutting up an onion. And this center job here, we got to go down the center to make sure that this is all fine mince. And then the good old locomotive. You know what I mean? This is not one of the knives that I sharpened the other day. Coming up on basics, we've got knife sharpening and what's it called? What's it called? Cast iron care, which those have been hotly requested things. I think we're only going to need this one onion here. There's there's always more onion in an onion than you think there's going to be. All right, so yeah, I mean, that's all I'm going to need. I'm going to save this guy for later. This will be our onion for the next risotto. So we've got this guy. Yes, to answer your question, yes, we showed how to sharpen using, just the usual drag-through sharpener, but also how to use a whetstone, which I was just going to pull out and there it is. Also using a whetstone, this little guy. This is how you get your knives like super, super razor sharp. It's the only way. That or take them out to get them professionally sharpened. That's really the only way you're going to get it done. All right, so let's power this guy on because we need to start sauteing some onions. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to saute. That's what's great about these digital pressure cookers is that they can just get super hot. So you can do your sauteing right in here and then boop, drop everything in, good to go. I got my arborio rice, and the general rule of thumb. I always say to measure by weight, but this is one where you can just kind of fudge the rules a little bit. Is if you're doing a cup of rice, cook it with 2 cups of stock in a pressure cooker, because you're not going to have much, if at all. You're not going to have any evaporation. You're not going to have any. I mean, you will when you release the steam, you'll lose some liquid, but a lot less than if you were just boiling it, I think. So the recipe that I did in the episode was 2 cups of risotto rice to 4 cups of chicken stock. But because we're just doing a little bit today, don't want to overdo it. I don't feel like having to eat risotto for the next week. We're going to take it a little easy. Take it a little easy on your boy Babby. While I'm waiting for this guy to heat up, because this guy needs to be nice and hot, I'm going to hit him with a little bit of olive oil. I got that Frankie's 457. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool, so I'm going to use that. Solid, 2 tablespoons of oil, maybe a little less. I'm going to go back to the stream now, see what you guys are up to. What y'all are saying. Pappy Babby. That's me. I'm Pappy. I'm Babby. You're my babishkas. Let's see. Basics video about potatoes. Yes, in fact, I was going to, but we skipped it. But there will be a basics video about potatoes soon. We just shot 8 episodes in 1 week, which is a lot of work. Sawyer was there for that as well. He can attest to the kind of marathon that we just went through, making them basics episodes.
It was a frenetic process, to say the least. I just wanted to cut in and say that, first and foremost, the people wanted to see your new tattoo.
Oh, what am I doing? This is a new tattoo, guys. And this tattoo was inspired by you, because I was asking, what kind of tattoo should I get? And somebody hilariously answered, get a cilantro tattoo, because anybody who knows me knows that I hate cilantro. It's a genetic thing. It's one of the very few foods that you can't teach yourself to love with time, like you're always going to hate it because it's just built into your DNA. And so guess what I got? I got a cilantro tattoo. How about that, huh? It's a beautifully done, I'm going to try and get in a little closer here so you can really see the detail here, because the guy who did it did some beautiful line work. It's a very difficult angle to hold my arm at. But the secret to this tattoo is that it's growing all the way up in here. It's growing out of my armpit, because those are my thoughts on cilantro, as many of you know. So, yeah. And it's just interesting to me that, like, I taught myself to love seafood over the past few years. I hated seafood, this time maybe 5 years ago, I hated all seafood. And I just slowly taught myself to learn to love it. And I can never do that with cilantro, so I thought that was interesting, and that's why I decided to make it part of my skin here. I wonder how much I can show you. It really goes all the way up in there. It was the single most painful tattoo that I ever could have imagined, because he was literally tatting in my armpit, and it tickled and hurt like hell at the same time. It was so bad. But anyway, yeah, my armpit does smell better than cilantro, and they both smell like soap. Bow, bow, bow. That's how we do comedy here at Binging with Babish. All right, so this is not heating up just yet, and that's because I didn't hit start. There we go. You guys couldn't tell that it was blinking because it's doing this wild, wacky frame shutter speed thing, but I didn't hit start, which is why it's not getting hot. So now we got another 5 minutes to kill before it gets going here. Stuffed crust pizza is a physical impossibility, I checked. Let's see what's going on with y'all. The Reddit questions, that's true. We could do, let's save that for later. We're gonna do the Reddit questions later. If you guys wanna ask a question that I will guarantee see, go to Reddit, go to the Binging with Babish subreddit, but reddit.com/bingingwithbabish. And you'll see a post that I just put up a couple hours ago saying that we're going to do a little questions from Reddit feature on today's stream. So if you have a question, guaranteed want me to see it, head over there, and we will answer those questions a little later on. We are going to be introducing a call-in element to this show. That is, we're going to have a very special number that you can call in, much like Frasier. We're really modeling this whole thing after Frasier. Sawyer will screen you to make sure that you're not, a racist or a jerk, and then we'll be able to chat live on the air. And I wish we could do that today, but we couldn't hook it up in time. So next episode we'll have that. Hopefully we'll have that cooking. Speaking of cooking, this is starting to heat up. I can smell the oil getting a little warm. I'm looking for it to shimmer a little bit. I really want to get a good saute going. It's kind of hard to do in these things. They don't get too hot, but like they get hot enough to. We're just sweating the onions. And one of the most important parts of making risotto is sautéing the rice a little bit before you add any liquid, because that's going to help the rice release its starch, which is what makes risotto so thick and creamy and gooey. Is the starch from the rice. I think that's what Alden Brown told me not when I met him or anything, but when I watched the show, like all of you. I love you too, Dagul of Gaba. I remember your screen name. You've been around. I've seen you before. Make Kevin's Famous Chili. I made Kevin's Famous Chili. Go check it out. YouTube.com. Ever heard of it? I already made his chili. I even got a little piece of carpet and I spilled it on the carpet to make it truly film accurate. That's what we're about over at Binging with Babish. Is Maddie, my boyfriend and I started watching Frasier because of you. Maddie, I love you both. I love you and your boyfriend. You guys are aces in my book. Thank you for starting this wonderful journey. Whether our journey lasts but one session or a lifetime. That's a very deep cut Frasier quote right there.
She's not there yet. Okay.
No. That's like season 9.
Maddie, you're gonna love that one. Okay.
That one has Sarah Silverman in it. That one's a classic.
It's a great one.
Let's see. No probs, bud. You're welcome. Which season of Frasier is the worst? I just got season 5 when Roz got pregnant. I'm not a fan. Get out of here with that. Season 5 is great. Worst season of Frasier, I would put my vote at season 10, I think.
That's the second to last?
That's second to last, and I'm sorry, I was wrong. The last season is unquestionably the worst because it has a couple of, some of the worst supporting characters ever. The worst.
Maybe one of the best episodes of the whole show.
Yes, of course. I said season, not episode.
I'm just saying.
Say all you want. That's not what I meant. Dude, my favorite episode is in season 9. Or wait, no. When is Taking Liberties? It's season 8, which is when I have very publicly said that Frasier started to go way downhill, but doesn't change the fact that my favorite episode of all time, and for anybody who's wondering, it's Taking Liberties, which I believe is season 8's episode. Oh, I should really know this by heart. It's season 8's episode. Oh, gee whiz. Sawyer, fact check me. It's season 8, episode 4. No.
Maybe the comment community can help us?
All right, I'm here. I'm smelling this oil getting hot, so I'm going to interrupt for just a second and give you guys some nice sizzling noises. Oh, yeah. Let's get that mic in there so we can really hear the little ASMR with Babish. Can somebody come up with another name for ASMR that starts with a B so I can use it? Because it doesn't start with a B. I can't really do it, guys. It doesn't work. I need that alliteration. It's a huge part of my brand. We have any newcomers here tonight? Any first timers joining us? I'd love to get to know you. Won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? Who's going to go see that Mr. Rogers documentary? Smash that like button if you're going to see Mr. Rogers documentary. As you do with all risotto, you got to use a wood spoon. You don't have to, but it's like grandma tradition. You know, you just got to do it sometimes. Well, that cooled off real quick. It was sizzling real good for a second, and it just went down. Let me get some garlic going here. We got to get a little garlic going. There we go. Oh, I love these. How cool is this, right? Let me get this out of the way. How cool is that? That's fridge 1. There's another one down below. It's a good setup, man. This place is good. Get the rice out of here. Smash us some garlic. Not new, but happy to be back. Thanks for coming back. Blue Fire Smile. Appreciate it. It's not my first time watching, but it's my first time watching live. Welcome to the live land, Laser Monkey. All right, so I'm gonna get this guy out of his shell by giving him a little smash. That really gets them jumping out of their skins. This is a weird shaped one though. It's throwing me a wild card here. It was a heart-shaped piece of garlic, and I crushed it just like all hearts are eventually crushed. Am I right, folks? Because love is an illusion, because we're all gonna die alone. I'm kidding. Love is a beautiful thing. You're just talking to somebody who got his heart broke, and it's still mending. That's all. Ow! And now I just broke my finger on the knife. I'm kidding. Finger's fine. This knife, unfortunately, isn't sharp enough to have cut me. Next time. What do we got? One time my girlfriend went to the woods and did a bunch of drugs with her friends. 3 days later, she brought the wooden spoon I cook risotto and roast coffee with. That's a pretty good trip, man. That sounds like a pretty good acid trip, if that's what that was. All right. These guys are sweating it up. I'm happy to say you're going to be able to see what's going on a lot better with the Stovetop risotto, because we have the other camera set up right over the stove, looking straight down. So you're going to be able to see all the hot risotto-y action live and in your face. Just take it all in, all right? Make pills from Rick and Morty. That's a good idea. Have you had your pills, Master Morty? I love you, Squid Warrior. Get out of here with that. You're being too nice. Should you store garlic in the fridge or pantry? It's really up to you. I've found that garlic sprouts a lot more slowly in the fridge. I mean, I would assume that it's just because cold inhibits growth, but whenever I keep garlic outside of the fridge in the pantry, it'll sprout. Like the cloves, you'll get the green sort of stem growing out of each clove, and that happens a lot faster if you don't refrigerate it. So I tend to refrigerate mine just for that reason. I don't think it hurts it in any way. Please feel free to chime in and correct me if that's not true. I'm supposed to be doing this in butter, not olive oil. Thank you for reminding me. For somebody just, even though you were quoting Parks and Rec, you're supposed to make risotto with butter, not olive oil. It's not going to ruin the dish or anything, but that's what we're going to do for the legit stovetop one, which we'll get going as soon as this guy gets pressurized. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy pressurized. Once he's starting to come up to pressure, he's only going to cook for, I think it's 5 minutes. High pressure, 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Boom, you got risotto. And then while he's going, I'm going to chop up our butternut squash so we can roast it. In fact, let me get the oven preheated right now. This kitchen has the craziest commercial oven in the world, and it's absolutely terrifying. It's consistently 100 degrees hotter than what it indicates, so I have to use a temperature probe to see what actual temperature I'm dealing with. It has been a challenge, to say the least. So, all right, I'm gonna drop some garlic in here. We're not using garlic in the other risotto, of course, because it's going a bit more of a sweet direction. Butternut squash, garlic, not the best combination in the world, not the worst. It definitely works in some applications, but we're doing a sweet savory thing with that, so we're gonna save the garlic for this one. Just a little bit of garlic, almost like we're starting to make the sauce, Sweating the onions, getting the garlic in there, and now that the onions are nice and translucent, I'm gonna measure out 1 cup of arborio rice. You can use arborio, carnaroli. There's a whole bunch of different varieties of rice that you can use to make risotto, but they are a very special kind of rice. You can't just use any rice. These are short grains that have a lot of starch in them that will release. Well, bam. That looked cool with a high shutter speed. Watch that rice pour in when it gets to you, Jake. Because there's a little bit of a delay. Now I'm gonna watch it. I just saw it. Okay, so I'm sauteing. You're gonna see this later on when we're over by the stove and you can see everything, but I'm sauteing until the rice looks like little ice cubes. Basically they're becoming translucent around the edges while staying opaque. Is that the word? Yeah. Well, they're staying opaque in the middle. And let me recenter this let me front focus a little bit. You guys know how much stickler I am. There we go. So I am sauteing these until I can see some nice translucent edges. Make sure the heat's on high because I'm about to deglaze it too with a bit of white wine. And I want all that alcohol to cook off before I put the lid on, because otherwise we're going to have some boozy risotto because there's no opportunity for evaporation in a pressure cooker. So we got to make sure that cooks off. So letting that go a minute and get the wine out the fridge. Got a nice little Sauvignon Blanc I'm going to use. Sauvignon Blanc is a great way to go. Try to stay away from the more buttery, rich whites like Chardonnays. Don't do that. But like Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio is a good way to go. Sometimes Pinot Grigio can get a little fruity. You don't really want that. You want a nice dry wine. There we go. A little knocking for you. Enjoy. All right, where's my Sauvignon Blanc? Here it is. There we go. Yeah, just don't go crazy with the wine. I think this is like a $15 bottle of wine. It's something that's good enough where I want to drink it with my risotto, but I also don't mind dumping, a solid half cup in here. Okay, I can hear the rice sizzling and they all look like little ice cubes. Hopefully you'll be able to see that in the overhead. They're pretty small and you're pretty far away. We'll do what we can. I'll swap out lenses if I have to. I'll do anything for you guys. All right, put in about a half cup. Oh yeah. Who else liked that? And now we're gonna let that simmer off, all the alcohol, until it's almost dry in there again. Like we're just gonna let that go. And I'm going to measure out 2 cups of chicken stock here. Now, normally I would use homemade chicken stock. I would use the real stuff, but guys, it's been busy. I haven't had time to make chicken stock. It's also been really hot, and I'm not going to have something. It was hard enough to have tonkatsu boiling in my apartment for 12 hours, and the idea of making stock right now is stunning to me. All right, so precisely 2 cups. Thank you, anybody who's tipped or anybody who's subscribed when I haven't been looking, thank you. Sorry, I'd love to be able to give you a more personal thank you, but sometimes I can't look because I am, oh, drink it if you insist. Where'd it go? What is, did I put it back? Wow, I put it back, I didn't even realize it. Wow, I lost a few seconds there. All right, let's see what this tastes like, shall we? Yeah, it's good. It's not that dry. This is a Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc Marlborough 2017, and it's dry, but it's not that dry. It's still got some fruit to it. It's a little bright. I think it's perfect for making risotto. That's going to be a nice welcome flavor. Just taste it. See if you can imagine, what would this taste like with rice. Does this make sense?
Take a sip of the stock.
Now take a sip of the stock? All right, well, that's it. That's not that bad, but boxed canned stock is not very good. It works once you get it into the recipe. All right, I've got all the alcohol cooked off here, and things are starting to sizzle again, so I'm just gonna drop that in there. There we go. And I'm just gonna make sure this is all good and mixed up. There's no clumpies, there's no guys sticking together. Make sure there's no rice sticking to the side of the pot because it won't get cooked. You don't want that. You don't want one rock hard piece of rice in your risotto. That would be a real shame. Okay, that's that. How'd they like me drinking the stock? I didn't get to see the comments.
They loved it.
Gnarly, 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 gnarly. Okay, so now I'm gonna lid this guy up.
They also love watching the LED flash. They really like it.
Yeah, no, it's hypnotic. I'm watching it myself.
I love it.
What's going on here, folks? Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. What's happening? Okay. What's going on? All right. Oh, I see the problem. We got a little bit of looseness. These things are cool. They're built in with so many safeties that if I tried to put it on like that, where it's not totally on, it wouldn't let me. So you're never gonna have a blowout or anything like that. Oh, no. You definitely don't wanna do that. There we go. Let's see if that works. Bam, locked. So now, all these guys have a valve right here. You can see, yeah. There we go. Oh, it's hard to see with the flashing. There we go. You got pressure and you got pressure release. So we're gonna set that to pressure right now. There's a little white dot here. I'm gonna line up pressure. That. There you go. Now this guy, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start him over. Menu, high pressure for let's go 6 minutes. Start, and that's it. That is all that she wrote. I should have you can season it at the end. That's fine. I'm sorry to rob. Well, I'll leave it in here a little bit so you can see the flashing. Everybody happy? There you go. I was gonna take it away from you, but gotta be a good guy. You know what I mean? So now, I'm getting me a whole butternut squash. That's what they call it in the industry. Sorry. I'm a child at heart, guys. You should know this by now. So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop off its head and its tail. It's actually not really necessary that I do that, but now that I've started, I'm just gonna go with it. I really don't need to do that now that I think about it. And then one reason that you kind of do is so you can go like this. It's very difficult to chop these guys in half. Normally we want to use a mallet or something, but I don't have one of those, so just be careful. Don't chop a finger off. There you go. Some lovely butternut squash. I'm feeling like this is a little blown out. I'm just going to close down the camera one little bit. I'm just going to go boop, and hopefully that's going to give us a little bit more balance. Yeah, see, that's better. They're still a little blown out, but that's okay. All right, so first order of business is we're scooping out all this junk from the center, and I just realized, spoiler alert, that I don't have any sage. Maybe I do. Let's see. I might have some old sage. Do I? Uh-oh. I mean, we're not sunk if we don't have sage. It's just really nice to have. What's that? That's not sage. Curious. See, you really got to go through the grocery list before we do this. But no, I do not have sage. So we're going to go without sage this time. No big deal. All right, another thing right here. You can see steam is starting to shoot out of this guy because there's a valve that needs to shut. So to help, I'm just going to help him along a little bit. Just use a little paring knife, and I'm just going to knock him around. You're going to see the steam suddenly stop. Steam suddenly stop. Come on. Come on. As soon as there's enough pressure, it'll hold it up on its own. Smells pretty good already. Even though I haven't even seen it. There it goes. See? No more steam. Pressure's building up, and this thing has officially become scary because it is a pressure cooker, and pressure cookers are inherently scary. All right, let me scoop all the seeds and junk out of here. Get a garbage bowl going. Just so I don't have to leave you guys every time I want to dump something. All right. Let's scoop these guys out. What's going on with y'all? Steam boys, that doesn't really work, but it's fine. That's fine. Do you not have living herbs? I don't, but I'm working on it, man. I'm working on trying to get one of them wall farms, you know, one of those LED kind of little click and grow joints where it's like a bookcase, but it's all herbs and lettuce and pot. I'm kidding. Or am I? No, I am kidding. But seriously. All right, so we'll just treat this like a Halloween pumpkin. You can leave some stringies on there because those actually taste pretty good once they're all roasted up. But they kind of gross me out, so I'm going to try to get rid of most of them. There we go. We're pureeing this at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter that much. And these do add flavor, so I'm not gonna get rid of all of them. We're gonna need some extra flavor because I forgot the sage. My fault. All right, let's scrape this guy down. What's going on over here? Blazing with Babish. Hilarious. Fate Nation, I am missing my jewel right now. I think I left it in the other room. But this is a family show and I shouldn't be ripping my jewel. Or should I? Because the fact is that I was smoking and I stopped, which is a good thing, you know? You shouldn't smoke. Shouldn't really vape either, but it's better than smoking, I'll tell you that much. But I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. I'm just going off what the internet tells me, which, as we all know, is 100% true. All right, get all this junk out of here. So, I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram, but I shot a new collab with one Mr. Brad Leone. We got any It's Alive with Brad fans out there? Speak up or forever hold your peace. WebMD. Yep. There's my Brad boys. All right, dump this out. Okay. Keep that garbage bowl handy because we're going to need to have more garbage later on. So, all right, stove's the oven's heating up. Let me see what temperature we're dealing with here. See, yeah, I set it to 250. What's this set? Yeah, it's set to 250. It's just hit 396. This thing's a beast. I gotta get it adjusted or something. Turn it down a little bit because we're looking for like 375. Or are we? Let me check the old recipe, recipe here. Yeah, 350 we're actually looking for. So let me grab a sheet pan. I'm gonna hit it with some parchment paper. I'll be right back, folks. Just grabbing the necessary tools. How's y'all's big weekend plans coming up? Anything exciting? I want to hear about want to hear about how you're spending your lives. Anybody cook anything good? Anybody planning on cooking anything good? Big projects? That's what I want to hear. That's what I like the most. All right. Pull the comments back up so I can respond. Get to cook Mexican food all weekend. That's fun. Gonna play Fortnite. What, my favorite game? I'm kidding. I don't really play Fortnite. Seeing Shrek the Musical, that's fun. Red Thai curry from scratch, cheers to that. Vinny Boys. Vinny Boys, Brad Boys, Thick Boys. Peas in a pod. Just bought a waffle iron, congratulations. It's a big purchase. Real quick, just so we can get the ball rolling here, I am reading your comments, but give me 1 sec because I'm going to quickly lube these guys up with a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. I'm just gonna rub it and give it a rub down. Am I missing any good weekend activities, Jake?
Well, AKW 1478 wants you to pick a tattoo for that person. So maybe we could hear a couple of your interests, AK?
Yeah, you want me to pick a tattoo for you? Wow.
It sounds like they want you to pick.
Well, that's only fair, I think, because I did what you guys asked, so that seems like, fair trade.
Everyone has to get tattoos that you choose.
Yeah, no, I think that's how this works, right? Now, you guys all get tattoos, and I think that you should get tattoos of the old Verizon logo before they changed it.
Go on.
Or the original, not the original, because I have the original Kodak logo right here. This is the one from 1911. You should get the 90s Kodak logo, you know, the one that's like red and yellow.
That's
it
a good
looks
one,
like
yeah.
darkroom equipment. It's really cool.
Or perhaps an original Wegmans.
Or the original Wegmans logo. Yeah, the big cursive Wegmans. I'd dig that. All right, let me hit this with a little bit of salt and pep. We're just going to season this up a little bit. Not totally necessary to do this, but just kind of, I don't know. I don't see why it's necessary to do this because we're going to be seasoning the risotto ultimately at the end. But I think every recipe for butternut squash risotto that I've ever read calls to do this, so there's got to be some kind of reason for it. So here we go. A little bit of salt and pep. Putting these cut side down. Bop, bop. And these are hitting the oven for 45 minutes. Until a paring knife shows what the hell is beeping. Oh, okay, that was this just ran out of time. So now we get to do something fun. First, I'm gonna get this out of the way. These are going in the oven, 350, 45 minutes. Away we go. Even though it's really like 380 in this oven. Oh my God, it's hot. Okay. All right, so here's the fun part. And I'm gonna be very careful right now because we have to remember that this guy's under pressure. It's under a lot of pressure at work, at home. And perilously, I'm going to reach over it. There we go. And now, get to do the fun part, which is the pressure release. In fact, you know, I'm going to pan up so we can see it because that's super fun. So let me just turn on the thing here so I can pan it up because the camera's right now, it's on a track. Come on, wake up. No, I don't want settings. Manual move. And tilt up for me. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, now we're gonna get the full effects of the steam release because we are doing a quick release in 3, 2, 1. Engage. Oh, oh. There we go. And that's letting out all that sweet, sweet steam. It's a good feeling. And inside, there should be waiting for us some delicious risotto. But we'll see. Time will tell. Boy, this lens has such a shallow depth of field. Like, the handles are out of focus, but the... maybe it was a mistake to get a serious cinema lens to shoot this show on. So this headphone right here is making me want to get a neck tattoo. Because I'm seeing that right now, I'm thinking, Wow, that would look cool if I had a neck tattoo. So somebody talk me out of it. Go. I'm gonna pan the camera back down. You guys come up with your best arguments why I should not get a neck tattoo. And don't say because you'll never be able to get a job, because guess what? This is my job. This is my life. Binging with Babish for life. All right. I'm seeing a lot of get-its. I'm seeing lots of positive. Pain is temporary. Glory is forever. All right, here we go. A lot of steam. Voila. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let me put this aside here. I have some cleanup to do later. Okay. Let me give this a little stir-a-roo here. Oh, yeah. See, it looks soupy to start. I wish I could show you. I'm sorry. It looks like, oh no, there's way too much liquid. But then you give it a stir and it's like, okay, I get it. Here, I'll show you a little sample here. We got some nice risotto. Perfect. It's a little soupy, but, you know, it's pretty freaking good considering we made it in like none minutes with like none effort. So let me try a little taste here. Oh, first thing we have to do while it's still nice and hot, we need to grate a metric foot ton of Parmesan into it. So I'm grabbing my block of Parm. You guys just keep watching that flashing digital display there, because that's trippy as fuck. And I'm gonna go ahead and there we go. Let's just get a whole bunch of this going. Oh, that looks cool with the fast shutter speed. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me focus on that because that looks cool. Back focus just a little bit. There we go. I need to get like a automated focus of some kind because that's a real pain in the ass right there. All right, so I'm putting a ton of this in here because later on it's going to act like our glue to keep the risotto together. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got it. What's the straw pole for? Tattoo? I see a straw pole.
That's a should he get a neck tattoo? Hell yes or hell no. It's not 60-40 yes.
That's okay. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but you know, as we've learned, if you tell me to do something, I will do it. You told me to get a cilantro tattoo. I went out and did it. So if that straw poll wins, guess what I'm going to do? I am absolutely going to get a neck tattoo. I'm kidding. I probably won't do it. I say probably because there's a chance I might. I'm at that stage in my life where it doesn't really matter to me. All right, and just before I mix this in, I'm also going to hit it with some salt, just enough, some pepper, some fresh grounds. Let's get that right next to the mic. Oh yeah, a little bit of ASMR for y'all. Mix in that Parmesan, get it all good and nice, as my boy Brad would say. I've been adopting his idioms. I've been saying things like that all the time now. I am become Brad, destroyer of kitchens. That was a weird joke that I just made. All right, now I'm gonna try a little bite here. Let's try this out. Oh, every time this comes out perfect. I love pressure cooker risotto. It just comes out so perfect every time. All right, so now to get it as cold as possible, as fast as possible, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray it out on a sheet pan because I'm gonna have another bite because it's really, really good. Say, I guess you can kind of see it. I'll do a close-up. Let me get a nice spoonful here. There we go. That's good. Get a nice close-up going. There we go. That's some, a little bit dropped. That's some risotto right there. Not too soupy. Good stuff. Oh, hot. Well, very, very hot. It was just at far higher than boiling temperature. That's the cool thing about pressure cookers, they cook at a temperature higher than boiling, which is so fascinating to me. And what's especially fascinating is when it's in there at higher than boiling temperature, it's not moving, it's not blah, 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 it's not bubbling. It is dead still. And it only boils when you release the steam because it's in a vacuum, or not a vacuum. It's not a vacuum, it's in a pressurized environment, and it can't, it's just sitting there hot and angry, and it's just cool. Okay. God, it's good. Even just on its own. There's nothing but rice and onion, garlic, chicken stock, and it is just so, and Parmesan, and it's just so good. All right, here we go. Oh, tell me that ain't just perfect risotto. And I'll only believe you if you're an Italian and you want to tell me everything I'm doing wrong. And okay, good job. I love.
Let's get that risotto out on a tray.
Let's get this risotto out onto a tray. Nice. Okay. Any Steve 1989 MRE fans out there? I hope they're coming out of the woodwork right now. I hope they're lighting up the comments. Nice. Okay. Thank you, Sawyer, for reminding me what I was doing. Jeez. All right, there we go. I'm going to spread this guy out. Spread this out onto a tray. Nice. Anybody who isn't watching Steve 1989 MRE info, Steve 1989 MRE info, should just stop watching me and go watch that instead. Because it's a really wonderful channel, the wonderful guy, I think. I don't know him well enough to know if he's like, I'm really nervous that like, you know, he has some crazy right-wing politics or something, but he seems like the nicest dude, and he's just so chill and so crazily knowledgeable and so passionate about MREs. And I love it. It's one of my favorite things. I didn't set a timer on that butternut squash, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm guessing it's been in there for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, every time I try to do this on my phone, 2 Tinder matches. I'm kidding. I haven't had time to date anyone at this juncture. It's just like, it's been so busy around here, guys. When Babish can't date, you know his ass is busy. All right, let me get this out of the way. Come on, there we go. Who's this? And before I plastic wrap this and fridge it, I'm just going to let it cool of its own recognizance for a minute. Did I use that correctly? I think I kind of did. I'm going to make sure it's in focus. Let me tilt the camera down a little bit. I'm going to tilt the camera down of its own recognizance, like that. I know I didn't use it right that time. But yeah, I'm going to let this chill out a little bit on its own because it's so hot right now, it'll just melt the plastic wrap. But look at that, huh? I mean, now I'm going to refocus the camera and give you all a close-up. Here we go. Oh, can you smell it? Can you smell it? That's some risotto right there. And it was so quick, so easy to make. So much fun, too, because I'm having fun right now. So, all right, I'm going to let that cool off a little bit before I fridge it, because we need it nice and firm and frigid and fridged. What's going on here? What's happening right here? Let me see if I can wipe that off. We need it nice and frigid for making arancini, because arancini we need to form it around a hunk of mozzarella. Come on now, mustn't have any schmutz upon my apron for all the people watching. All right, who's just tuning in, watching Babish clean his apron? That's acceptable, I guess. It's not where I'd like it to be. But there's still something there. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'm sorry. It's gotta come out. Whatever. Okay. Let's start. What do we do now? You know, now would be a good time because we're waiting for the butternut squash to finish roasting. Now would be a good time for questions from Reddit. What do we got in the subreddit there, Jake?
let's see here. I liked one asking you, so you're having a person over, a romantic interest over for dinner, and you want to cook something for them, but you don't want it to be difficult, you don't want tons of dishes, you don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. These are all really valid things that you need to consider. They're looking at a dinner and a dessert. You got any ideas?
Ooh, dinner and a dessert, not many dishes. This is a very valid question, very difficult. Not very difficult, sorry. Honestly, risotto is a great way to go. You're gonna see the way we're gonna make it in a few on the stovetop. If you don't have a pressure cooker, don't worry about it. And you can make it with any manner of different sort of mix-ins. You can make a red wine risotto with steak, and you could serve the red wine risotto over arugula so the arugula wilts, and use a vegetable peeler to shave some big old shavings of Parmesan on top. Most romantic shit I could even imagine. And as far as dessert goes, that's where making ahead comes into play, because you could make creme brulee ahead. Go check out my Amelie video on how to make creme brulee. You could make that entirely, and then you get to impress her with a torch. Are you kidding me? You could make flourless chocolate cake, which is so delicious. So yeah, make dessert ahead for sure. Maybe have a little prep element in there where you put a quenelle or quenelle, or however you say it, of whipped cream on top, or you torch it, or something cool there. And then try to go one pot for dinner. Like, you can do lots of romantic one pot meals. You could do boeuf bourguignon. You could do risotto. You could do, like, if you want to do a really fancy sort of like tricked out risotto, do like a wild mushroom risotto. Go to your nearest grocery store and get one of those, like those packs of mixed wild mushrooms, chanterelles and wood ear mushrooms and stuff like that, and chop those up and add those when you saute those, put them on the side, and then put them in when you once the risotto is finished. And you'll see later on how we're going to do that. Let's see. I mean, I love this butternut squash one. This takes probably 2 hours total to make, ish, maybe a little less. So that's not that bad. I think that, let's see. One time for a date, I made chicken fajitas, but not like, I know that doesn't sound very romantic, but one thing I like to do is like find something very obvious like that, like fajitas, and find an interesting way of doing it. America's Test Kitchen had a great recipe for rajas con crema, which is roast poblano peppers that you cook. You saute them with some onions until everybody's soft, and then add some cream and a squeeze of lime juice. Or if you can get a hold of crema, which is a Honduran sour cream, add some of that in there, and you get these creamy, spicy, add a little bit of oregano, and you're putting that on top of like some grilled chicken in some homemade tortillas or something like that. That's really good. I should come down eye level and talk to you guys right now. That's what I should do. Let me try to focus on me. Oh, wrong way. Back focus. Back focus. There we go. All right. So, yeah, it's there's a lot of different options there. I would try to do prep ahead for dessert, and then one pot for dinner. There's a lot of romantic options out there. So we already said risotto. We said boeuf bourguignon. Those both take a little bit of time. You want to do less time, go for some homemade pasta, man. Like, you can make that shit weeks ahead of time. I have some frozen right here. Check this out. The other night, I made me some pasta, and there's always too much. So guess what you do? You freeze it, and boom. Anytime you want fresh pasta, legit fresh pasta that you made yourself, you throw that into some boiling water, as Brad would say, water, and you're off to the races. And get centered here. There we go. And let's see. I mean, sometimes there's the really sort of simple, you want to go light with a romantic dinner, right? Because later on you want to have energy to, play Scrabble. And so you don't want to weigh yourself down. Pasta could be a little heavy, so if you can go pasta, do something light, like pasta aglio olio. That's a very light pasta dish. Stay away from creamy sauces, I guess. I like to, make bruschetta. chop up some tomatoes with some garlic, some onion, and some fresh basil, and chop all that up, get it all nice. It's a little bit of olive oil, and then grab a burrata. Go get some burrata from your Italian grocer, and just stick that right in the center, and just serve that with some toasts or some nice crackers or something. Boom, and they're munching on that while you're finishing up dinner. Always finish dinner when they get there, because then they get to watch you cook, and they get to see how like cool it is that you can cook. Like he or she can just be like, wow, they really put some effort into this. And anyway, that's all the dating tips I have for dinner dates. I haven't been able to do any of those things for quite a while. It's been a little busy around here. Anyway, that's a very long-winded answer to your question. What's the next question? Sawyer?
All right, let's go in a different direction. Who would win in a
Let's do it.
boxing match? Frasier or Cam Winston? Now, the person asking this question gave us some stats just to get you going.
Oh my God, I love this person, whoever they are.
This is Equality Barrow, Redditor Equality Barrow.
Equality Barrow, I like your style, thank you.
So these are the stats that he gave us. They look pretty right to me. Frasier is an orthodox stance, while Cam is a southpaw. I believe wholeheartedly that Cam Winston is left-handed. Frasier 6'3", Cam.
He sounds like
6
somebody
foot.
who would talk about if he's that he's left-handed, because
Perhaps.
right.
That's fine. That's fair. We don't get to see him enough though, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, 3 episodes sum total.
Frasier is 210 pounds. Cam comes in at $174. That sounds.
$174. He's like Frasier is 6'1" or 6 foot.
We're Equality Barrow says 6'3". That sounds pretty tall.
Frasier's 6'3".
Could be true.
Well,
How tall is
all right.
Kelsey
Well,
Grammer?
if that's true, Cam Winston must be 6'6". So there's no fucking
that's
way
okay.
he's $175. We're looking at I'm clocking Cam in at 210.
Yeah, and I see here that Kelsey Grammer is 6'1". So I think
And let's
you're right.
also-
I think Cam is taller than her. Maybe about 6'3".
Let's also remember that Frasier is a bitch. Frasier's inherently afraid of a fight. He almost tried to fight that guy in season 2, the newspaper columnist that kept calling him out. I Hate Frasier Crane was the name of the episode. It was season 1. Sorry, season 1.
Sure, yeah.
And it got broken up by the cops. But let's not forget that he's a bitch and that he has no fighting experience. His experience for fighting is running from it or curling up into a ball. And Cam Winston, I get the vibe that guy would be decent in a scrap. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I do.
Yeah, I agree.
But then again, maybe he's a bitch too. Maybe he also doesn't know how to fight. It's very possible.
I think we're saying Cam here, though.
Yeah, and I think Cam's the winner. He's got the height on Frasier. He's got just something about him. There's more of a masculine aura. I get more of a I think he would win. So,
All right.
well, thank you
So-
thank you for the estimated stats. I can't say I agree with those stats because I'm sorry, there's no way Cam Winston's $175. That's 15 pounds heavier than me, and he's got like he's got like 8 inches on me, height wise.
Yeah. I think you sussed that one out pretty well. All right, I got Electric
Ice
Queen.
makers scared me. Yep.
Electric Queen is asking, I made a pizza, but it keeps getting bubbles. Can you give me a secret plan to fight pizza inflation?
I mean, bubbles are one of the I like bubbles in pizza. I like it because that means that you've got a lot of heat going on. It's good to have bubbles, in my mind. But I guess, the way to fight bubbles is going to be to work your dough a little bit more before you top it up, because the whole key with pizza dough is after its final rise, you give it a little bit of a beat down, and then you're rolling it out or you're stretching it out, and you're trying to preserve those bubbles by doing that. I guess I would really give it a bit more of a beat down in your final your after your final rise when you're starting to shape it, because that's where the bubbles live, and you gotta knock them down if that's what you're after. But I gotta say, I like a good bubble in my pizza. I like big old bubbles. Oh, I'm hearing people saying that the audio is screwy. Is all good? Oh, one person said it.
Maybe I didn't click myself on. Sorry. Thanks for the heads up.
Okay.
So I got somebody in here asking for an onion substitute because they have a friend who's allergic to onions. Can you think of anything that tastes like onions?
No.
I think we can present that to the chat as well.
I would love for anybody to chime in and tell me what is a good onion substitute, because I can't even imagine one. Like, onions are such a singular flavor. It'd be like coming up with an apple substitute. Yes, you could make a peach pie instead of an apple pie, but it's not going to taste like an apple pie. Shallots are, I believe, if you're allergic to onions, shallots would still get you. I'm pretty sure that ask your friend if they're allergic to shallots as well, because that would be a happy substitute. But I don't see that as working. What has the same sort of funky, kind of earthy, starts out kind of peppery but then sweetens? What else is like that? I mean, leeks, scallions, chives, those are all, very oniony. I would be worried that those would also set off your friend. Check to see if they're allergic to chives. Chives are relatively distantly related to onions, but I have a feeling they'd still be allergic to them. But check. Chives is definitely a good. Leeks are so close to onions, I cannot imagine that they would be not that they would still mess up the allergy. Spring onion. Somebody suggested spring onion. Yeah, that should be fun. Spring onions. There's no way they're allergic to spring onions. Fennel. I mean, I appreciate the idea, but fennel doesn't taste anything like onions. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could use it in a mirepoix, but it would change the flavors of the dish dramatically. Fennel is a pretty intense flavor, and I feel like that would. Tell your friends stop being a wuss and shell out for an EpiPen when they want to eat well. I hear that. I'm allergic to something mysterious, and I don't know what it is, so I have to carry an EpiPen at all times. It's all over in the other room right now. I'd have to go in the other room if I wanted to stab myself. I'm drinking what's your name? Nukem 57. I'm drinking. In fact, I'm going to get myself a refill here. Jake, do you want a drink? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'll come grab a drink.
You want to come in and have a drink with me? Oh, bring my EpiPen too for
sure.
Evidence, please. Thank you. All right, to answer your question, Nukem 57, I'm drinking Nika coffee. Let me get this refocused here. There we go. Got Nika coffee grain whiskey, which is a lovely sweet. This is not Sawyer's favorite. Sawyer prefers a smokier whiskey. I like them both. I like smoky and I like sweet. But this is decidedly sweet. Let me see if I have anything smokier from a man. No, I think I'm fresh out right now. I can make you a martini, bro. But the last time I made a martini on the internet, it didn't go so well. So, probably not. I'm going to take out my headphones now because it's just going to confuse me. Thank you, Sawyer. Here's my EpiPen, just in case. Guys, this is, for anybody who hasn't met Jake yet, this is Sawyer Jacobs right here, one of the original thick boys. And I'm going to keep this right here, just in case I got to stab myself. And cheers.
Cheers.
You speaking in the mic?
Hey.
I just got a very nice kiss from my closest, dearest friend, which is you can't pay for that, or you shouldn't pay for that. Don't let me catch you paying for kisses from your best friend. All right, refocus. Okay, we're back on track. What else was in the Reddit forum? Anything interesting?
Yeah, there was one that personally appealed to me. Somebody's been cooking with vegetables for their family all the time. You know, always cooking with vegetables and roasting them. And they need new things, new spices to put on the vegetables. The family's bored. This person's been putting cinnamon and orange peel on all their roasted vegetables. They need new rubs, sauces, whatever you can think of.
All right, well, that's an interesting question. I have to look up the name of this, but yeah, okay. I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong, but let's see. There's this spice called Maris Biber. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Maris Biber. It's a very mild. I believe it's what is it? Then there's Aleppo. What's it called? Aleppo. Yeah, pepper. All right, so okay, the Aleppo pepper. Yeah, okay. So Maris Biber, whatever. Aleppo pepper. Two very interesting flavors that are very, 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 very hot right now. They're not too spicy. There's just the tiniest little bit of heat to them. But they taste very interesting. They're really a cool flavor to introduce to your loved ones. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to check on the temperature of the oven real quick. 371. I'm getting used to this thing. I'm getting it down. Maris Biber, Aleppo pepper. Szechuan peppercorns are very interesting because they provide a sort of tingling sensation when you eat them, and that can be very interesting. Let's see. How about folks in the audience? What do you guys think? What should this poor soul be seasoning their vegetables with if they're running out of ideas? Smoked paprika, very nice. Smoked paprika can add sort of like a natural smoky flavor to things. Let's see. You could always drizzle your vegetables with tahini. That'd be a nice way to go. Rosemary and thyme are pretty standard. If you haven't tried rosemary and thyme yet, I don't know what you're doing, but give that a shot if you haven't. Let's see. Garlic and parm, soy sauce. Fennel seeds. Fennel seeds are pretty great. What are the seeds that go into rye bread? It's not fennel seeds. It's another kind of seed. Somebody tell me. Za'atar. Somebody just said za'atar. Thank you very much. Za'atar, very hot right now. Drizzle your vegetables with some yogurt and sprinkle them with some za'atar. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Caraway, that's the word I was looking for. Caraway seeds, very interesting flavors there. I recently did some roasted broccoli with za'atar, and that was delicious. You literally just roast the broccoli, toss it with za'atar. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Brussels sprouts with balsamic. I can get down with that, Brussels sprouts with balsamic. I think it's going to be less about spices, man, or lady, or whatever you are. I think it's gonna be less about spices and more about how you cook the vegetables and how you present them. Like, you can cook vegetables straight up all day, roast them, and try spicing them different ways. But there's also different ways that you can prepare them and present them. You can, instead of making roasted broccoli or boiled broccoli, you could try making broccoli soup. If you have a nice high-powered blender like a Vitamix, you can just throw some broccoli and some water, some cream in there, and let it go for 6 minutes. You got piping hot broccoli soup. Serve it with goat cheese, serve it with chives, serve it with whatever. Instead of, oh boy, my knees. This is, let's see. Instead of, asparagus. Asparagus, instead of roasting it or sautéing it or boiling it, whatever you're doing. You could wrap it in prosciutto. You could spread, what's it called? You could spread Boursin cheese on the prosciutto and then wrap the asparagus in the prosciutto, roast that shit. Delicious, absolutely delicious. There's so much out there. Just like I would focus less on spices and more on recipes, like what something interesting that I can do with this vegetable rather than what's another way that I can flavor it. What I didn't set a timer on this butternut squash, so I'm just going to sort of keep my fingers crossed that I'm not going to burn it. I'm guessing I put it in there about 30 minutes ago now. I'm not sure. My internal clock is terrible, but if I had to guess, I'd say 30 minutes. So I'm going to check on it, and then I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes so we don't mess this up. Need this to test the doneness of the squash. I'm gonna poke it. Oh, you know what we should do first? Take this guy. He's cooled off enough to handle here. Like I can touch him. He's not gonna melt my plastic wrap. I'm gonna rack focus forward here. So I'll go ahead and hit him with the cling wrap. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's kind of like how you call tissues Kleenex. Like, you know, it's just part of the vernacular. It's part of the cultural conversation. What? So, yeah, just covering this up. Basic cover up. Make sure that it's not absorbing any of those funky flavors from the fridge, and it's not drying out. So, might need a little bit more there. It doesn't seem like it's sticking well enough. What I really prefer to use is Glade Press and Seal, and I'll say that without shame because I'm not sponsored by them. What I am is a big fan of that product because it's fabulous. It just sticks to everything without. It's like magnets. It's like the invention of magnets. It's like, wow, how do these work? Gee whiz, how do these work? I'm really wrapping this up securely because I don't want it to dry out. This drying out would mean not so very good arancini later on. Okay, those are in the fridge. Now, let me check on my butternut squash. And yes, I am going to continue to call it that from now until the end of time. All right, these are looking pretty good. They're definitely not done. I think I was right when I said half an hour. Yeah, they're still a little firm. So I'm gonna give those another 15 minutes. I think they'll be done. This glove out the way, and let me find a way to set a timer for 15 minutes that won't interfere with my and Sawyer's phone call because that happened last time. Here we go, timer. I can set a timer on this thing. Timer. Oh, that is really annoying. I can set a timer for 8 seconds. Oh, it's 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right. Is there any other questions, or should we do other cooking things?
I think we have time for one more question.
Let's do one more question then.
All right. Let me see. What was one I wanted to bring to the foreground here?
By the way, anybody who's curious about this is just diluted white vinegar. It's very food safe, it's very everything safe, and it's also wood table safe. So there's about maybe 1 to 10 ratio of vinegar to water there, and it's just, it's a good situation for cleaning up places that you want to, semi-sanitize. It's not gonna sanitize. If you wanna sanitize, do pure vinegar, but we haven't had any meat going down here or anything like that, so it's a good way to clean up your workstation. This table has become a gigantic cutting board for me. So, anyway, sorry, Jake. What's up?
No problem. My final question from the subreddit at this time was from Postmodernity. They asked, what are your thoughts on bacon wrapping meat? I find it causes the bacon to burn, but I want a second opinion.
I am very anti-bacon wrapping meat. You are either burning the bacon and properly cooking the meat, or wait, no, I'm sorry. You're either undercooking the bacon and properly cooking the meat, or you're burning the bacon, or properly cooking the bacon and overcooking the meat, whatever. You've got two different proteins that cook two very different ways. And it's a sort of like antiquated symbol of luxury to have a bacon wrapped filet mignon. And that, you know what I'd rather do is you cook the bacon separately and you crumble it over the top, or serve it on the side, or do anything other than that. I think bacon wrapped meat is a waste of time, and it's like the 90s equivalent of what bacon has become on the internet today, which is just this ridiculous overblown meme. Like, I love bacon as much as the next guy, but when you're making like taco shells out of bacon or whatever bullshit, that to me is what bacon wrapped meat was in the 90s. It was like, here's your silly little symbol of opulence and overindulgence. And there are far more fun and interesting ways to include bacon in meat. So there you go. That's my spiel. Now we can get back to work. All right. What do we got to do here? We got to, all right, this is driving me absolutely insane. This mess that has somehow invaded my my apron. Jake, give me a be right back. We're gonna be right back, folks. I'm gonna take care of this nastiness in my apron and throw up a be right back screen for me if you would. Be right back, guys. Back in 2 minutes. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, it's still there a little bit, but it was driving me crazy. There was a thing on my apron. It's driving me nuts. So it's good to be back. What are we up to, guys? What are we talking about? I wasn't changing my apron. I was giving a little wipe down. Sorry about that. Nice, smooth transition. Yeah, aprons are supposed to get stained, but come on, guys. This is TV, you know? We're trying to have a seamless presentation here. Yes, I know it's still there. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on. He attached, protect the most important he back. What? You have the best beard. Thank you so much. I really work hard on this beard. And anybody who has a beard out there, you work hard on it too, because it's gross if you don't. I've seen some gnarly beards out there where they're just, or they're oily looking or whatever. Take care of your beard, okay? Let's see. Hey man, I've been watching your vids since the beginning. Glad to see you're streaming now. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Scheme Monster. Let me ask you guys something. What do you guys think about YouTube as a place for streaming? I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what you guys think about YouTube as a streaming platform, because you know, it's I've had a great experience over here at Twitch, and it's a prospect I've been exploring. I'd love to know. All right, yeah, that's as expected. Yeah. Nope. Twitch is better. Twitch is better. That's why I hear. Okay. Loud and clear, folks. I got you. All right. Okay. Loud and clear. I got you. No straw poll necessary. I hear your voices. Not to worry. No emotes on YouTube. Why would we even bother? Yeah, the no's are pouring in. I see some bits. I see some tips and stuff. Thank you guys for leaving bits. I appreciate it. Thank you anybody who has subscribed for subscribing. I'm going to start getting set up over here. I'm going to be right back, folks. I just need to grab the blender because we're going to be, once the squash comes out of the oven, we're going to be pureeing it, making a nice squash puree to add to our butternut squash risotto down the line. So let me grab the blender quick because that's going to be our, well, actually, hang on. First thing we got to do, might as well get out of the way, is finely chop an onion. Here we go. Thank you for subscribing, Rusty Tiger. Appreciate it. All right, so we have this onion here from before, and we're just gonna give him a nice little chop. And you know, trying to keep it nice and fine because you don't want like huge chunks of onion in your risotto. Am I right? You just want little bits. I'd be very curious to know what I would use if I didn't have onions and I need to make risotto. What would I use? Fennel seems like the coolest idea that I heard, but it is a very strong flavor, and I'm not entirely sure how well it would work. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I also don't know. Hell, it might be part of the onion family. They might still be allergic to fennel, for all I know. I dropped onion. I can't allow that. New York City. Can't have pests. You know what I mean? All right, so got ourselves some onion here. I'm going to set this off to the side, right over here. There we go. And our butternut squash should be done in, let me check the timer. The timer didn't work, so the butternut squash should be done any moment now. Yeah, it looks like my timer didn't work, so we'll see what's happening there. Oh, what are you guys drinking tonight? What's in your glass? Tell me what's darkening your doorstep. What does that mean? I have a real timer. It's called my phone, but I'm currently on the phone with Sawyer right now. So I don't mess with that because then when the timer goes off, it interferes with your phone call, and I don't want to mess with that. 2% milk. That's good for you. Water. Nice. Gin and tonic. Corona. Kombucha. Nice. That's good for you. Brad loves kombucha. Penderin whiskey. I've never heard of that. 1942 Don Julio. Nice. Got a high roller over here. Canada Dry Green Tea Ginger Ale. You must be hungover. I hope you're hungover if you're drinking that. Dalwhinnie 15-year-old single malt. Nicely done. Chicken stock. Let's see. It's 10 a.m. in Sydney, so water for now. But you're in Sydney, man. Have a beer. You're Australian. Do it right. Yeah, you're right. In 1942 Don Julio there's no way you're drinking that. It said pics or it didn't happen. Send us pics. I want today's paper, the bottle, your face, holding a picture, holding a piece of paper that says your screen name with a glass of it while you're taking a sip. I want that picture or it didn't happen. Michter's. I love Michter's. I will tell you that. I love Michter's small batch. I love Michter's single barrel. Michter's toasted barrel, I think I had once. That was fabulous. Oh man, chicken stock. Lagavulin 16, one of my favorites. That is a bottle of burning tires. Sawyer would love that one. I'm sure he's had that and he's enjoyed it because it is a bottle of smoke. Let's see, maple wine. I'm hoping you made that up. I'm hoping that's not a thing. Homemade mead? You're badass if that's true. But I will say I doubt it because that sounds really hard. And most people, what am I talking about? We're talking about people on the internet. Anybody could be here. And that's how you find people who make their own mead. And that's cool. If you made homemade mead, fucking hats off to you, man. That's really cool. Mead doesn't taste very good, though. At least the mead that I've had. Maybe I've had bad mead. Balvenie, Oban, very good stuff. My ears, what did I do? Drinking vanilla extract because of, oh, that's not funny. Monkey, that's not funny. Fuck you. Who's got the grog? Is that Lord of the Rings term? Is that from Shadow of Mordor? The audio cuts periodically. Jake, are we having issues with my mic?
I don't think so. It's bouncing nice over here, but maybe we're getting a little internet chitter chatter.
All right, well, I'm very sorry for any internet chitter chatter, folks. We're still working out the kinks, but we're trying to bring you a premier streaming experience with cinema lenses and quality. I don't know. Audio only cuts when you move your arms a lot. Maybe I'm. I love an old fashioned too. Boy, you guys love booze, huh? You guys like to drink. Hibiki. Who's drinking Hibiki? Enraged Pyro. Hibiki's good. Hibiki Harmony. That's some good stuff. I love that stuff. Thank you very much, Ashrak00. That's very nice. Appreciate that. Make your own mead from the YouTube channel Modern Rouge. Modern Rouge fam unite. What does that mean? Oh, I just saw somebody say, Andrew, I dedicate this Jenny Cream to you. Well, I dedicate this episode to you, Gone Jigs. If you're drinking Jenny Cream, you're all right in my book. I'm sorry it went to 720, guys. There might be some internet issues. Thank you for the bits. I'm seeing people following. I'm seeing bits dropping the cup. Jake, let's empty that cup. Tullamore Dew. That's good stuff. Oh man, I love a Moscow Mule. I'm craving a Moscow Mule now. You guys have me craving a Moscow Mule, but I don't have any ginger beer, so I can't do it right. Plus, Moscow Mules remind me of my ex-girlfriend. That makes me sad. Rigers? What is that? Tell us a story, Babish. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about... Maybe I should read my whiskey story. No, I'm not going to do that. I have an idea for a new series where I'm going to sit in my easy chair next to the fire and drink a whiskey and read from a book about sitting in my easy chair drinking that whiskey and what it was like as though it had already happened in the third person, but it's happening right now. So I'll be like, I sneezed and decided to continue talking, you know, so stuff like that. I think it'd be fun. So, yeah, it's gonna be, maybe it'll be like a modern bedtime with Babish. See, I'm hearing a lot of people saying the mic cuts periodically. I think we should like reboot the mics or something.
I think it might be the motion. I think they're just hearing the clip on the collar a little bit.
Yeah, guys, maybe when I'm moving, if I move the mic hitting my collar and it might be clipping and it might be cutting it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to not move too much. We'll be very careful. But it's getting to be that time almost where we can start making us some butternut squash risotto. At which point we will be moving over to the other camera because this is a multi-camera professional show. And we endeavor to bring you a premier streaming experience to all 1,012 of you. Let's see. Yeah, that butternut squash. Will Gordon Ramsay be proud of my risotto? I can't say he would because he's kind of a stickler. Chat Chicago, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry, cheese will come back. I'm just putting it in the fridge just so it doesn't, go too crazy. I'm gonna allow that comment. There we go. Thank you for falling asleep to my voice and making it erotic. That's your choice. Check out getting an AKG 414 microphone. We'll see. Button up, boys. I do love Lagavulin. I think Lagavulin is a great way to go if you want a real smoke monster. And sometimes I'm in the mood for a real smoke monster. Sometimes I'm really not. And that's okay either way. Live your life, make your choice. I'm just moving this cord over because it was right next to the oven and it was getting a little warm. I'm gonna check on the squash real quick, guys. And hopefully the mic won't cut out too much. I'm gonna keep talking nonstop the whole time so we can tell if it is cutting out. Test, 1, 2, 3. Testing, I'm still talking. Ooh, I think the squash is just about done. All right, there we go. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes just to be extra sure, because I don't want undercooked squash and my, it cut out a lot. Uh-oh. What do we do, Jake? What do we do? I mean, you should just like narrate what I'm doing as you see it.
I mean, we could move to a narration model, but I'm looking at all of our levels here.
The whole time I was doing that, you didn't see any cutouts?
I don't see any cutouts, and I'm looking at
was
the
it
pack
peaking?
over here, and it's getting fine signal, so I could turn you up a little bit, just see how that goes, see if they like that.
All right. Well, I'm turned up a little bit, guys. How do you feel about that? You like me a little hotter there?
A little hot.
These guys are talking about Modern Rouge. I'm very curious about Modern Rouge.
Yeah, we don't know what Modern Rouge is. Moulin Rouge?
I know what Moulin Rouge is.
All right, maybe people are just being sticklers, as Viable No says, and it's just not.
Yeah, I saw that, but we're trying to bring a new level of quality to the internet.
That's true. No.
And so we if we have problems, we want to address them. We want to fix them. Even if we can't fix them tonight, we want to be able to fix them in the future. So don't fret. If there are issues tonight, we will work them out. We've had bigger issues in the past, and we work them out, and we will work these ones out too. You'll have to excuse me. I have to pull my pants up a little bit. There we go.
All right,
They've been traveling down.
They're saying the show is called Modern Rogue, and we just weren't reading it right, which seems to check out.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That sounds like us. I think that we've been wrong on many occasions. This is one of them.
Yeah, especially with reading stuff.
Yes, reading stuff is super hard, guys. I don't know if you know about that, but it's actually pretty hard to read stuff. I'm gonna kill the oven. Yeah, we're doing all right. Considering all the advantages that we've had as people.
Sure, there's so many.
Should be able to. Yeah. What is Modern Rogue then? Is that like some anime or something? Because I'll feel better if it is.
I would too.
And so I don't know anime, so if you start talking about anime, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, should I watch it or is it gonna be too weird for me? That thing is still on my fucking apron, dude. That's gonna drive me goddamn. I think it adds character.
Yeah, it adds dimension to the shot.
It's definitely cutting. Jeez. Guys, we're sorry about the mic. We will figure it out. I'm going to allow this sexual comment, even though it's in French. Why would they ban that? It's in French. Je veux coucher avec moi. Avec toi. I'm sure that means something sexual. It's basically Brian Brushwood and friend learning how to make improvised weapons. Interesting. Oh, wow, what's that on his apron? Fuck you! Fuck you! Oh my God! Let's see. Thanks, man. Thanks, Porkman. I've watched. How many anime are purely about food? Because I've seen Food Wars. Tell me another one. If there's another one, I guess I won't be that surprised, but I will be surprised. All right, hang on. I'm gonna make a nice little environment for our squash to end up in over here, okay? Here goes nothing. Ooh, yeah. All right, throw this down. Don't mess up my nice countertop. There we go, trying to get it centered. Move the veg, as sloppy as that was. And here we go, we got us some nice roasted butternut squash, or butternut squash as we've been calling it. Which is not very advertiser friendly, but you know, can't always appease the big guys. Sometimes it just gotta be me, you know? You know what I mean? All right, let me grab the Vitamix here, and grab my blender. And we have some nicely roasted squash. Here we go. Scoop that over there. And you know, I'm actually gonna try to set this, oh no, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's get the Vitamix all situated. Let's maybe scoot this over a little bit so my boy Vita has a bit more room to roam. I said maybe let's scoop this over a little bit. There we go. There we go. You got to see what's going on over here after all, you know what I mean? And I'm going to change focus and pan up a little bit just to keep things fresh. Let's focus on the blender, like so. And let's tilt this up a little bit, like so we can see what's going on. Well, I kind of want to see what's going on with the squash too. Let's try to get both. Can we get both? That's good. I like that right there. Okay, so these guys are hot. So I'm going to use tongs, combination of tongs and a spoon to extract their delicious flesh. Taken out of context, I understand how that might sound inappropriate, but just trust me. You know, sometimes you can peel the skin right off of this. That also, out of context, not great. Okay, no, it's not going to happen this time. That's happened with pumpkins before, where you can just peel the skin right off them. These guys, I'm just going to, oh yeah, look at that. Just, whoop, grab that flesh right out of there. There go my tongs. That's cool. And I'm going to start dumping some flesh into the blender here. Let's get rid of those tongs. And if I throw on a glove, maybe my hand can withstand the immense heat from the steaming hot butternut squash. I guess we will see. Time will tell, am I right? Anybody out there listening to the Bangers with Babish playlist? It's on Spotify. My favorite cooking tunes. If you're cooking along with me, you might as well listen along with me as well. Got some good stuff on there. We got some Blood Orange. We got some Theo Katzman. We got some Young Thug. All the things that are good. Name it. I have all the things that are good. Ow. Ooh, it's hot. That is hot. Predictably, that's a hot piece of squash. Ow! Woo. Okay. Need a new solution because this is not going to work. Not going to work. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let me grab another set of tongs, see if I can do this a little bit more effectively here. There we go. If I grab this like so, and then, oh, okay, it just broke. We want to leave some anyway because we want to add some whole chopped squash at the end. So don't worry about getting all this. We can get the rest once it's cooled off. We're just trying to get a good amount so we can add it to our risotto as it cooks, or towards the end of the cooking process. So just try to get, I mean, ideally you want to let this cool where you can do this, but you know, we don't have all the time in the world here. We're trying to stream. Can't keep my boy here forever. He has a wife. And come on. This is the single most inept I've ever been on camera at cooking right now. Enjoy yourselves, folks, because ain't gonna happen again. Or it totally will happen again every episode, every time. But ain't gonna happen again this episode, I'll tell you that much. There's gotta be a better way to do this. But I'm just not seeing it. So I'm just trying to scrape out all the flesh I can here. There we go. And again, it's okay if we don't get all of it, because we're going to come back. We're going to get more. I want to make sure I'm not getting any skin by accident here, because the skin has become quite tender. There we go. And the more orangey stuff, that's what I really want to get, because that's going to add color. Also, it's going to add flavor. It means it's probably been roasted better than most stuff. So it's those stringy things, that stringy stuff I was talking about. That stuff is hooking us up right now. All right, scrape a bit more, and then that's good enough. So now, I don't need this glove anymore. Now, I'm going to grab my elf glove. I'm going to set this guy off to the side, let him cool off so I can get the rest of that flesh when it is ready to be handled, which it is not right now. There we go. Put him over here. A little bit of a crash there, my apologies. And just so we can make a proper puree, we're going to add a little bit of chicken stock. Let's get that last little bit of squash in there. It's good. Butternut squash, even just on its own, is a lovely little thing. How are we doing on focus here? This doesn't look perfectly focused to me. Oh, maybe it was. Okay, good enough. Let's throw a little bit of chicken stock in here. And just talk amongst yourselves, because I'm about to disappear into the noise of an active Vitamix blender working at the prime of its abilities. Whoops. Oh, okay. There we go. Get that all plugged in. Juice it. Make sure that's off. One thing with Vitamix blenders, make sure that's not like all the way on like that, because if I turn this on, it's gonna go woo. So here we go. Let's start. Oh. What's going on? I got no power. How about now? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There you go, guys. How was that? All right. I want you to see the steam pouring out of there. Well, there was for a second. Now it's gone. But we have a nice smooth, I'll show you. Sorry about the noise, but hey, that's the price of doing business over here. We got a nice smooth, butternut squash puree. Dude. You add a little bit more chicken stock to that, you could serve that as soup. That's really good. I wish it were like fall right now, because, you know, then it would be a little bit more seasonally appropriate, but you can't, you gotta pick your battles. All right, Jake, I think we're ready to move over to camera 2. Would you care to?
All right, here we go. Here
All good?
we go.
Welcome, folks, I think, to camera 2, which is, as you can see, a top-down view of what's going on. Let me start by lighting up. There we go. Lighten that guy up. And now, make sure this oven's off, because it's really hot. And I'm going to start hitting this with a little bit of heat, and we're going to do this right this time. Because last time we used oil, and really we're supposed to use butter. I'm very ashamed of myself, and I want to find the butter. There's some butter. There's some butter right there. There's some butter right there this whole damn time. So I'm gonna chop myself off a nice pat o' butter, maybe like, that's good. That's about a tablespoon and a half-ish. I know it looks like these are those short fat sticks, so that's more than a tablespoon, I promise. And we're just gonna melt this guy up, and we're gonna saute our onion in this, because risotto really properly should start with butter. How's the picture looking, Jake? Is it too hot?
Oh, it's too hot on Twitch, but it's beautiful on OBS.
All right. Well, I'm gonna up the shutter speed a little bit. All right. How's that?
Looks good on OBS. Looks nice and dark and cherry red. But let's see what. Oh, okay. All right. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
That's good. All right.
There you go.
Cool.
All right.
So, all right. Now, another thing we need to do, guys, get our stock going in a saucepan over auxiliary heat, because we need the stock to be hot. Let me just get a saucepan going here, folks. One moment. I gotta get it out of the dishwasher. There we go. So, you're gonna see just ancillary over here on the side. I'm going to keep our stock nice and warm, and I'm gonna need probably about 2 cups worth, because I'm not gonna make too much here. Again, we're being a little conservative here. Oh shoot, I forgot to make the bacon. So I'm also simultaneously gonna be making bacon on the side. This is gonna be fun, huh? Get to see me cook three things at once. That sounds like a good time. I think so. So let me get the bacon going. Here's the bacon. Got some uncured Sunday bacon going here. I'm going to add some more chicken stock to our saucepan, keeping it nice and warm. I'm probably gonna, get about. I'm gonna do 3 cups worth, just in case, because I'm eyeballing this one. This is risotto is a good recipe to eyeball, because you're gonna do it by look and feel and taste. You can follow a recipe; it'll work out fine. But this is one of those things. I'm not looking at the recipe right now, and I like it like that. Let's add the onions. Get those sweating. There we go. No butter in this one, folks. No butter, because, or I'm sorry, no garlic is what I meant to say. No garlic in this one, folks, because this is a butternut squash risotto, and that would be unacceptable. So let's give that a little stir. And I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit, just because it's starting to get a little hot. There we go. All right, and let's see. All right, a couple things that we can do here. We can start by toasting some pine nuts before we do the bacon. So I'm going to enable heat on this burner. There we go. Et voila. And I'm going to drop some pine nuts in here, and we're going to dry, because these are going to be really good on top of, let's just do them all. These are going to be really good on top of the butternut squash risotto. I'm going to have a sip of my drink over on camera. Over on camera 1. Give this a sniff. It smells good. And back on camera 2, we are dry roasting our pine nuts a little bit. Just got to keep those moving just so they don't burn. I'm also going to start getting this stock hot, so let me light this guy up. For anybody who's wondering why am I using a torch to light my stove, it's because this is an industrial stove, and the pilot light is so freaking hot. Like, it heats the whole room if you leave the pilot light on for the stove. The pilot light for the oven is hot enough, but with the stove, it's absolutely crazy. So, got to just manually light these burners. Otherwise, in the winter, maybe I can have the pilot light going, and we can be a normal family again. But in the summertime, no way, man. All right, so back on camera 1, I'm just opening the bacon. No big deal. I just want this bacon emotionally and physically available for when I need them. There we go. Get rid of that filthy knife. I got the bacon all ready to go. Matter of fact, I'll take them out, put them on a plate, so I have an easier time cooking them down the line. There we go. Any interesting questions or mean people right now?
No, nobody too mean. People are excited about those pine nuts. It's a delicacy.
Oh, I'm excited about those pine nuts. I got to be very careful to not burn them. Going back to camera 2, I'm gonna give them a little tossy toss, because the last thing I want is to toss these and see a whole bunch of dark black bottoms on them. That would really be a bummer. And okay, similar situation here. I am going to measure out 1 cup of our Boreo rice, because I like the amount. That's pretty much this whole. Whatever. I like the amount that we had with the butternut squash risotto. So I'm going to move back over to camera 2 now, and we've got these onions nice and sweated. You can see they're not really browning; they're just sweating. That's exactly what we want to see. They're becoming translucent. And now's the time that we add our rice. And now's the time that I hope that you guys get to see the phenomenon that I was talking about. I don't know if you can see right now. I'm going to make sure that it's in focus. I'm just going to check the focus on this camera. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's in focus. Now, I hope you can see that almost immediately these guys start to become translucent around their edges. And that's what we're looking for. Oh, these pine nuts smell good. They're starting to release all their pine nutty oils. And when we first threw the rice in there, it looked like this. It was stark white and not translucent whatsoever. And now you can see these guys are starting to look like little ice cubes, and that is what we're after, right there. So I'm gonna let those go just a little bit longer. I'll turn down the heat a little bit. There we go. Keep these guys moving. Don't ever let them stop moving. I mean, let them stop every once in a while, because that's the only way you're going to get a good toast on them. And that's hopefully the pine nuts are going to make up for the lack of sage, because I was supposed to have sage to put in this, but I totally spaced on the sage. So now we're going to deglaze with that white wine. We're getting out of the fridge. We can stay on camera 2, and I'm going to up the heat a little bit just because I want to get a nice. I want this to evaporate nice and quickly. About half a cup in there, ish. And we're going to let that simmer until it's pretty much gone. I'm going to crank up the heat a little bit on this stock over here on the side, because we want him to be steaming hot as we add, because we don't want to cool down the risotto at all as we're adding stock. This is the classic way of making risotto, is sort of adding liquid until a certain point is reached, and then adding a little bit more, and then mixing, then adding a little bit more, and then mixing. Oh, there we go. Look at the toast on those guys, huh? Those guys are good to go. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, let me grab something to put those guys in. All right, so we're just going to boil off all this alcohol here. And I'm going to dump the pine nuts into, you can't really see back here, but I'm just dumping them into a bowl. Oh, I dropped some. Mustn't have that. There we go. And now, guess who's all ready to fry some bacon? I'll give you a hint. It's this guy. Now what I like to do, if I can, is squeeze a little nubbin into the center of the bacon like that. And it's not really letting me do it right now, but that can help the bacon cook a little bit more evenly. You might notice when you cook bacon in a fry pan that it's burnt in the center while the edges are just cooking properly. And it's just because the center, it gets more heat. So I like to sort of put kind of a pinch in the center there. It's getting a little hot. Just like that. And that way, you know, the edges are getting cooked a little bit more evenly. You see that? You see the little pinch that I put in there? That's a hopefully a thing that I invented. I don't know. But all right, so the alcohol is cooked off here. The chicken stock isn't quite hot yet. We can't wait. We got to get it in there. Otherwise, the rice is going to start to stick. So I'm going to grab a ladle. Oh, it's just starting to simmer a little bit. Perfect timing. What timing? I'm just going to put a little bit in there. There we go. And I have to put the, I'll turn this burner back on under the bacon because I just realized it's off. There we go. Let's get that bacon nice and crispy. And we're moving this guy around. And what we're really looking for is for the, and this is kind of a small batch, so it's actually not the best example. If we're doing a bigger batch, what we're looking for is to be able to move the spoon across the bottom of the pot and leave a trail, which we're going to do pretty much every time here because it's such a small batch. I'll try to illustrate that if I can. So let's add a couple ladlefuls of stock here and see if I can illustrate what I'm talking about. All right, see, there we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm talking about. If I drag my spoon across, it's not it's not leaving a trail. It's just immediately getting covered up. So that means that we have a good amount of stock in there. We can just keep stirring it. That bacon just splashed me nice and good. Yeah, and we can just keep this guy moving. I can't see any of the comments, Jake, so if there's anything anybody wants to know, just blurt it out. So we're going to keep the risotto moving like so. Jake, are we still on our call? Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, I'm just making sure. Just making sure. Okay, so, you know, yeah, a trail is starting to be left a little bit, but it's filling in pretty quickly. You see that? And that's not quite there yet. We want it to really sort of stay. Turn on the heat here. Whoa, that, no wonder you're sputtering like that. Heat was crazy high. Oh, all right, so this is getting to the point where I almost want to start adding stock because it's starting to really leave a trail, and we need to hydrate it when it does that. So I'm going to do 2 ladlefuls at a time from this pan. That should be enough to keep it happy. Keep it nice and happy. And then you'll notice that we added chicken stock to the butternut squash puree. That's not only to help us make a puree, but also because we want it to be part of the cooking liquid. We want it to cook into the risotto. So once this guy's almost done, once it's like, you know, rice is almost cooked, we're gonna add the butternut squash puree and finish cooking it in the puree. And that way, we're gonna get the sort of flavor throughout. So I got the puree over here, ready to go. I don't know if we're still on this camera, but if we are, this is the puree. And that guy's ready to go. As soon as we are, I'm gonna grab some tongs for my bacon. This is a non-stick pan, so make sure you're using non-stick friendly tongs. No metal, please. Thank you. All right, these aren't quite ready to flip yet. They're starting to curl up, which is nice. And you can see, oop, this guy got a little overlap going. Don't want that. There we go. No overlaps, please. That's the beauty of bacon. Like all the undercooked parts, like they curl up and then you flip them over and then those are the first parts to get heat next time around. It's a pretty good system. I'm gonna lower the heat. I feel like this is simmering a little quick for my liking. You want this to be a very gentle cooking process. And we're starting to see, you know, as I'm mixing this around, you can see if I drag the spoon top to bottom, it's leaving a trail, but not quite enough. I want it to really sort of remain there for a second or two before it gets covered up. So let's do it again. it's almost there. You know, like you want it to feel like it's really leaving a trail, and it's pretty much there. Let's try again. There we go. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. It's really something you got to just start getting a feel for. Got a nice hot stock here, so we're not interrupting the cooking process. If this cooled down every time you added stock, you'd be having trouble. You'd be having some real trouble. So, but this is the traditional way you make risotto, and they call it the stand and stir method for making risotto with good reason, because that's what you're doing. You're standing, you're stirring. The odds of me going back to camera one in the next few minutes, very low, except to maybe get my drink, which I'm probably going to do any minute now. Oh, it smells good, but you know, this is the stovetop version of what we did in the pressure cooker. It's the same thing, just plain old risotto. It's not going to turn into something special until close to the end. Let's see what the bacon's doing here. Still not there yet. I want some crispy ass bacon to put on top of this here. Let me crank up the heat a little bit. I feel like I've been too gentle. But these burners, that's what's so hard about this. These burners are crazy big. You see the size of these burners? There's no like little simmer burner or anything. Everything's big and serious in this kitchen. Takes a little getting used to, because as many of you know, I have no formal training. I'm just a Rochester boy that thought he should make a cooking channel, and now here I am. And in the other room, we got another Rochester boy who joined me on this journey. We're just a couple of Rochester boys when you get right down to it. This isn't quite ready. See, that's filling in too fast. That's, you know, think of who parted the Red Sea in the Bible? Moses. Did Moses do that? I think Moses did that. Or was it? It was Moses. And when Moses parted the, I don't know. You know, think of the escaping, his people escaping from the bad guys. You know, just they're not going to be able to make it through that. That's coming in way too fast. That's a really dumb and strange metaphor. I'm going to give these a flip now because they're almost there. I want them super crisp, but you know, bacon, you flip it as many times as you want. There's no rules on bacon. With steaks, your boy Gordon Ramsay, your boy Jamie Oliver, they say, you know, flip a steak once. And I'm going to listen to them because they're Gordon Ramsay and Jamie Oliver. But bacon, flip it all you want. It's very, very hard to fuck up bacon. It's about how you like your bacon. All right, see, still there's no escape here. There's no escaping the Ramses or whatever he was. I don't fucking know. I haven't been to Bible school since I was knee high to a duck. So I'm not gonna be of any help here. That's pretty much where we want it. The heat got a little low. Let's get it back up there. We really want this at a nice kind of like gentle simmer. That's where we want it. You can see how thick and creamy it's already getting, even though there's nothing in here but rice and chicken stock, you know? So, all right, let me grab my glove because I gotta start tipping this guy to get the rest of the stock out here. Here we go. Let's do one, and then let's do two. All right, I'm gonna give this a stir, and then I'm gonna go over and see what y'all are saying in the what do they call it? The not the comments, the thread, the discussion, the Twitch group, Twitch discussion group.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think they wanted it to be called the Twitch discussion group.
Yes, I'm gonna go look at what's being said in the Twitch discussion group, and let's see what's going on over here.
Yeah, see if anyone said anything.
Oh yeah, what are you guys talking about? What's this 4-letter word that you're saying? I don't know what that means. Well, anyway, it's nice to talk to you guys over here in the Twitch discussion group.
The comments section.
Oh, the comments section. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I called it the Twitch discussion group. I meant to say the comments section. How are you guys doing over here in the comments section?
The comment section actually brought something up that was a little controversial. Are you up for that topic?
Sure, yeah, as long as it's not going to get me fired from some kind of school sponsorship deal.
Actually, quite the contrary. A group of Italian chefs recently ridiculed your carbonara for including garlic. And I'm happy to say a lot of people defended you, saying, you know, what's the big deal? That's sort of how I feel. But
okay.
Do you have any
I know the video to which they are referring, and I'm going to say a few things about that video. First off, I love garlic and carbonara. I'll say that in my own self-defense. I will also say that those chefs were critiquing my method, and you might remember that I make a show that recreates food from movies and television. If somebody makes something a certain way, I'm going to make it that way. And Dev on Master of None made it that way. That is the whole point of my show. That's not how I make carbonara. But I also make carbonara with garlic, so those guys can, you know, I think that they were totally fair in saying that it was unsound technique, and that they didn't know that this is a show about recreating foods from pop culture, not coming up with the best original, authentic carbonara recipe. Anyway, I'm not bent out of shape about it because those guys are real chefs and I'm not, so I can't really talk shit. But just, you know. Oh! I haven't stirred my risotto in forever. Speaking of, I'm sitting here talking trash to Italian chefs, and I'm sitting here not stirring my risotto like a psycho. Oh, keep that going. Let's see how our trail is doing. Pretty good. Could use a little bit more work. Needs to keep going. I'm going to do also a doneness test. This is around the time when I know it's not going to be done. But I just want to see where the rice is at. I want to see, you know, how is it still super al dente? Is it starting to get cooked? And it's still super al dente. It's still got a ways to go. And it's getting to the point. I'm also going to kill the heat under my bacon here. Bacon's looking fly. Yeah, it's getting to the point where it's ready for another ladleful or two. One and two. Towards the end of this is going to become a little bit more autonomous. You don't have to stir it as much, just because there's so much more of it now. This is doubled in volume, so the odds of you scorching it or making it stick to the bottom of the pot are lower. You still need to pay attention to it, but towards the end you can pay a little less attention to it. Hence me returning to camera one and getting myself a refill on my whiskey. Because that's how I do. I'm gonna put this down on the floor. And my toasted pine nuts right here. This is the torch I've been lighting the stove with. Am I forgetting anything? I know I forgot the sage, the frizzled sage we're unfortunately gonna have to do without this time. That really makes the dish too, is some frizzled sage. Really does something special. Stay on this camera. I'm gonna bring the bacon over here. I want you guys to see this beautiful bacon. All right, a couple layers of pea towels. That's what the kids call paper towels nowadays. I don't know if you guys are hip to the lingo. There you go. And let's get that back home off the assembly line. This is gonna be some nice crispy bacon once it gotta do a little rack focus. Don't we? We're a little soft, aren't we? I'm not gonna allow that. Don't worry, folks. All right, we got some nice, stiff, but yielding bacon. This is right where I like it, right here. For eating and for recipe usage, this is where I like it because it's still got a little give to it. It's not shattering, but it's nice and crisp. And especially once this cools off a little bit, it's gonna be super crisp. Let's go back to camera two. I almost called it camera B just to get everybody really confused. And you know, risotto is meant to be served al dente. The rice should be toothsome. Shouldn't be just like totally soft and overcooked. It should be, Should have a little bit of bite to it. Should be just a tiny bit firm. But that's it. Should also not be, you know, crispy or crunchy or undercooked or anything. It should be, you're gonna know it when you taste it. You're gonna know when it's just right. And see, that's getting close. That's getting close. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna add my puree, butternut squash puree, like that. Going for maybe a ratio of a third puree to the rest of the mixture. And now, this was also the stage where I added some maple syrup in the video, and I am fresh out of maple syrup, I'm sorry to say. So, instead, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar, because brown sugar, we got the sweetness and we got, you know, some molasses going on. You could add molasses, that would work great. But I'm just gonna add, like, you know, solid, maybe 2 tablespoons brown sugar. Hang on, let me get all the sugar off my hands here. One moment, folks. You can already see how absolutely gorgeous this risotto is becoming. Just its color and its consistency, it's a beautiful thing. A nice risotto is a really lovely, lovely thing to have in your mouth. And I'm gonna go ahead and stir that in there. What else did I put in this? I'm gonna go check the recipe quick, just to make sure I'm not like missing stuff, besides of course the requisite sage. All right, chicken stock, white wine, risotto, white onion, olive oil, sage, butter, syrup, white pepper. All right, so I called for white pepper in the video, and that's really just an aesthetic thing. It keeps this from having little black flecks in it, but I also don't know where my white pepper is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just season it with black pepper, and that's totally fine. It just means it's gonna have flecks of pepper in it, and I'm okay with that. I've come to peace with that. And we're getting towards the end of cooking right now, so that's why I'm starting to season. There we go. We're gonna keep cooking it though, because it's still pretty soupy. We want it to be a nice, cohesive risotto. And also the rice is still not fully cooked, so we're gonna let that drink up some of that puree. And also, let's switch back over to camera 1 for a minute. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to extract what I can from these remaining butternut squash pieces here, so we can have some freshly chopped, you know, hunks of squash in with our risotto, which is going to be a nice thing. So here we go. It's all cooled off now, so I can handle it. Here's a nice chunkaroo. Get that guy out of there. There we go. Oh, see, this worked out perfectly. All my inability to take the heat really worked out. But yeah, whoever asked about me, you know, impressing Gordon Ramsay, that's one of my biggest fears in life, is that I'll ever have to like meet that guy, because I have a feeling he's just gonna tear me apart. Because I'm not a pro, man. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy with a silly little YouTube channel. I do hope to meet him one day, though. Like I really do, because you know he's obviously an icon. I actually know somebody that works as a grip on his. Sawyer and I both know somebody who works as a grip on his show on Kitchen Nightmares and on Hotel Hell, and he says he's like the nicest. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, he's the nicest guy in the world, and he only gets mad at you if you fuck up, which sounds exactly right. That sounds like Gordon Ramsay. So there we go. There's some nice squash. We did? Oh shit! It must have overheated. Guys, I'm sorry. I think we have an overheating problem with camera 2. Yeah. All right, camera 2 is overheated, so we're gonna have to do without camera 2, guys. Sorry. Sorry. But camera 2 seems it could not take the heat. So we will soldier on using camera 1. Oh boy, I hope I didn't like cook that camera. Literally cook it. All right, let me get a knife going here. And even though this is already pretty pureed up, you know, we're just gonna give it a little. Just gonna give it a little choppy chop. And I'll dump this in over here because now you can't see anything over Stovetop because camera 2 just decided to shit the bed. But this risotto is almost done. And I think as a result, we might have to skip arancini because there's no way I can make it over there. That's a shame. What time is it? What's a guy to do? Well, it's off, yeah. All right, well, we'll see if the camera cools down. I can't really get it away from the oven because it's here, I'll turn on the fan. No, the fan will mess up the audio. It's fine. We'll figure this out, guys. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. All right, so here we go. Sorry about the camera interruption, folks. Looks like, you know, we're learning the limitations of our tech. It is really hot over here. I understand. If I were that camera, I would shut down too. My thermostat would be like, hey, my full frame Sony processor can't handle all this heat. And I'd be like, shut it down, boys, shut it down. All right, risotto is pretty much done. So I'm just gonna bring it over and we're gonna finish it together over on camera 1. Here we go. So let me kill the heat here. Heat's all off. And grab oven gloves. We're also going to finish this with bacon. So that's a thing. Throw down an oven glove here so I can put the pot on it. And here we go. Here comes the risotto. Yeah, that's looking about right. And I'll show it to you. So we got this nice, creamy, beautiful risotto. And I'm gonna taste it to make sure that's not undercooked because that would be the real crime. More so than a camera just shutting down. No, it's perfect. The rice is toothsome. It's got a little bit of chew to it. It's like al dente pasta. That's beautiful. All right, so while it's still hot, this risotto is not immune from needing Parmesan. Most risottos, I'm hard pressed to think of risottos that don't benefit greatly from a shit ton of Parmesan. So let's get that going. I'm just gonna add, you know, probably a solid 2 ounces worth, I'd say, maybe more. This thing makes the most beautiful little shavings. I'm gonna keep this this microplane out for later when I wanna garnish this because this makes the most beautiful little shavings. Okay, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Here we go. Come on, here we go. This is what we train for. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Okay. Whew. All right. Stir that in. Make sure it gets all nice and nice. It's all melty. I can't get Brad's little mannerisms or not mannerisms, little colloquialisms out of my head. All right, we got that in there. I'm gonna taste it again for seasoning because it needs salt, but the Parmesan can add some serious saltiness. So let's see what this is like. It's almost perfect. A little bit of salt, just a bit. We're also gonna get some salt from the bacon, so don't go too crazy. And lastly, I'm gonna add this freshly chopped roast squash. Gonna stir that in there, all nice. Oh, she's a beaut. She's just a real beaut. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna plate this up. It's time to plate. Normally we would brown some butter and fry some sage in the butter, but we're skipping that this time just because I forgot the sage, and also because we're experiencing some small technical difficulties. But I'm going to go ahead and use this wholly inappropriate utensil to plate up some of this beautiful risotto. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love it. You know, I actually like the little black specks, the little pepper specks. Let me get this out of here so we can really see what we're getting into risotto-wise. I can hear every noise that I make, every loud noise. I can hear it in the reverb on my headphones from Sawyer's mic. Okay, there's our risotto. Let's make sure she's in focus. Right there, I'd say. And you know, normally I chop up all the bacon because I'm going to be serving a bunch of people, but this is just for one bowl. You know, other options that we could put on here would be like toasted hazelnuts, you know, other herbs. You could fry up some, you could just do straight up parsley. Parsley would be nice, but I'm going to hit it with the bacon right like that. There we go, beautiful. And I'm going to grab some of these toasted pine nuts, and I'm just going to scatter those around. And those are going to bring a real nice toasty, nutty flavor. You guys know pine nuts. Pine nuts taste delicious. And there you have it, man. Butternut squash risotto with bacon. Try this out. Oh, man. Wow. It tastes so inappropriate right now because it's June. But like, if this were, you know, July, I'm kidding. If this were October and what's his face, whoever was asking about a date, if you had a date over, it's just so fall. It's so comforting, so nice. Jake, you want to come try this?
Yeah, I'm coming right now.
All right. My boy's going to come try it. I'll get him a fork. Or a spoon, rather. Get an outside opinion here.
All right.
Let's give it a shot. Get some bacon, get some pine nuts in there. Oh, what am I thinking? Totally forgot to get some serious Parmesan shaved on top. One of the most important bits. And then what you want to do is just make sure this is nearby, just in case.
Get your EpiPen ready.
Yep. Oops. Right, it's over here. There we go.
Delicious.
What are we talking about, guys? I'm glad that's making you hungry. That's good. Purple sweater daddy. Yeah.
That's me.
Couple of daddies over here.
Couple of stone cold daddies.
I'm gonna have some bacon.
So we're gonna try and get this thing going again, or give her some time?
It's still really hot.
Yeah.
I mean, let me try it. It turns on.
Sure.
We're gonna see if this camera. Oh, it's on. All right.
Back.
Maybe hope yet. All right. Well, you know, I need to form them over here. So let me leave it off for now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Arancini, we're back in business. Here, do you want this?
Hell yeah.
All right. Happy dinner, bro. I'm gonna eat the rest of that bacon myself. What was that?
There's no signal on the second camera. Oh, it's off.
No. So I'm gonna keep letting it cool.
Yep.
Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the tips. Okay. 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 All right, guys. So, camera 2 overheated. Luckily, the next thing we need to do is camera 2 overheated, but luckily the next thing that we need to do is build our arancini. So, I'm about to do something very embarrassing in front of you all. I hope you don't mind. But I couldn't order straight up mozzarella from Amazon Prime Now. All I could get was these mozzarella sticks. So we're gonna chop these up, and they're gonna be our mozzarella filling for the arancini. And I'm probably gonna eat one because I'm gonna have a hard time helping myself because it's string cheese, for God's sake. But these are, organic mozzarella. It is mozzarella. So, this is an example of how you can improvise sometimes. Unsub, get out of here. Good, I don't want you. If this bothers you. I'm gonna save one for me because I like string cheese. I like it. I'm gonna save it. Okay. So, I'm just gonna chop these guys up to equal pieces. Ah, there goes one. Lost one. Probably gonna eat one. Okay. Let me get these dishes out of the way over here so I can start the frying process. Wow, everything's so hot over here. Okay. Scoot. All right, sorry for the interruption, folks. I'm going to have you back with me in just a moment. All right, so we have our filling. This is our mozzarella filling, as hilarious as that might be. It is. And then we need 2 bowls for dipping. Right? Was there an egg involved? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look at the recipe here. Arancini. No egg in this one. We're just gonna make a little water and flour slurry to sort of dredge our guys in. Let me change the order of this because we're gonna stuff and then we're going to dredge over here. Okay. Let's get our risotto rice out of the fridge. It's all nice and cold, so it's gonna be nice and firm and pliable. And there's butternut squash all over my floor, so I'm just gonna give it a little wipey wipe. Because I won't have it. Not my house. Okay. Now, I'm probably gonna put gloves on just because this is gonna be so sticky and messy. So why not? Actually, hang on. Let me, okay. I'm just gonna double check, make sure I'm doing this right. Here we go. Coat the ball in the water, flour, slurry, and then panko breadcrumbs. Okay. Cool. So you can't see it right now, but I'm about to get this vegetable oil going in a Dutch oven that I can deep fry in. Okay. So I'm just gonna pour this out into the Dutch oven and start bringing that up to heat because we're gonna be ready to go very quickly. I'm gonna fill it about halfway, maybe a little bit less. Perfect. Okay. That's gone. Let's empty the rest of this bottle, shall we? What do you think? There we go. That's the kind of night it's being right now. Things go wrong, man. It's live TV and there's 2 of us. Okay. So we need 1 bowl of panko breadcrumbs right here. So that's what I'm gonna hook up. Oh, I just spilled panko breadcrumbs everywhere. Okay, time to focus. Enough horseplay. Enough monkeying around. It's time to focus. There we go. So, everywhere I step just crunches. Jesus. Okay. Got our bowl of panko breadcrumbs. Okay, that's that's not gonna last with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the panko that I spilled. There's only like a couple of them, but they just crunch every time I walk, and I just can't stand just the stain on my. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Okay, that's better. No more panko. No more crunch. Are they all making fun of me right now? I deserve it.
No, they understand. You're a clean man.
I am a clean man. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit of water in this bowl. Be right back. Okay. Got a little bit of water in my bowl here. And to that, I'm going to add a bit of all-purpose flour, which I have to retrieve over here. And grab out of spoon. So I'm just going to try to do it with a fork, which I should be able to do. And then I need to sort of whisk it together so it kind of works out, doesn't it? So I'm trying to get like maybe a tablespoon and a half worth here. We're just trying to make a little slurry, a little something that'll stick. It's just got to be a very thin slurry. We're not trying to make like pancake batter or nothing here. That looks pretty good. It's just something to help make our panko stick, that's all. We're just going to whisk that together. I do want a little bit more in there, I will say. I want a little bit more. Maybe another tablespoon, 2 tablespoons worth. Let's work that in there, get it nice and whisked. Apron's a mess now if it wasn't a mess before. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this really opaque liquid that looks like it's almost starting to thicken, but it's not quite. It still has the consistency of water, but it's just starting to get a little bit thick. That's what I'm after. Okay. Now, get rid of this, and we can start doing stuff. Let me I'm just going to set up. I'm sorry to keep disappearing, guys. I'm just going to set up the thermometer. I've been using it to monitor oven temperature. I'm going to set it up to monitor the oil temperature. If you just give me 30 seconds, I will be in and out faster than a proctologist ready to go on vacation. What? And there we go. It's ready to go. So now I'm going to light the flame because we're going to be ready to fry in like T-minus 10 seconds. Okay. Flame is a go. And let's get our risotto out of the refrigerator. Unwrap this guy. We wrapped him very securely to make sure no moisture got out, and nothing did. And he's all firm now. Check this out. Look at that. Firm. That's exactly what we want. So, I'm going to, with gloved hands, put on some gloves. Just because, why not? We're dealing with some sticky stuff. Like, why deal with the mess when you don't have to? I'd rather waste plastic than water, you know what I mean? Water is a very precious resource. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but anyway, I'm going to do two of these pieces of mozzarella because they're kind of small, and I want a nice little cheese pull when I pull these guys apart. Check my oil temperature. All right, and I'm going to get a plate to put the completed arancini upon. Put them right here. There we go. And let's get going. Let's get cooking. So now, ideally, you want to let this go longer than I have. Like, it's still pretty soft. And after a few hours in the fridge, it would be ideal. But, we don't have that kind of time. So, all right, I'm putting 2 pieces of cheese in there. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap the rice right around it. Make myself a little ball, like so. There we go. And I'm going to start by doing just that because that's a process in and of itself. So we're grabbing some rice, we're making it into a little bit of a pancake there. You know, maybe like a golf ball's worth of rice, 2 pieces of cheese, or whatever cheese you're working with. Is anybody doing this at home? Anybody making arancini right now? You know, that's the ideal use for this is leftover risotto. You know, you made a risotto. You can use any flavor. Like we're just doing plain right now because it was easy to make and because why not? But you can do any flavor. So you make risotto. You always have leftovers. I've never made risotto and been like, wow, I didn't make enough risotto. There's always too much. So you take your leftovers. You make a little hockey puck there. You grab a couple pieces of cheese and you wrap them around just like that. Just like that. Make sure everybody's all covered up. Make sure it's nice and round. Form it into a ball. Sorry for taking on this accent. I'm going to stop now. And I'm going to do 4 of these just because that's what I feel like doing. So deal with it. I don't know. Also because this risotto is not cold enough, so it's still pretty soft. I'd like for it to be a lot firmer. But what are you going to do? Again, this is live television. You can't plan for everything. But it's full of Parmesan, which is keeping it together like a glue. That and the starch from all the rice, from all the arborio rice, giving up all of its starch. And I'm just forming it around the cheese and making sure no cheese is showing. Make sure we got a nice even ball here. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, that's good. And if you're worried about this cheese going to waste, don't worry about it. I'm gonna eat it. All right, putting this aside. Because now we have our risotto balls. Our pre-arancini, if you will. And I'm gonna get another plate to put them down on. Oh, look at this little assembly station I have going here, huh? How about this, huh? 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 All right. So, take this guy. I'm gonna dip them in the flour water slurry a little bit here. Just get them all nice and covered. And then guess where he's going? He's going in the panko breadcrumbs. We're going to really press the panko in there to ensure that they're not going to come out. There we go, there we go, there we go. And our cheese, look at the little nest we've built around our cheese here of rice and other cheese and breadcrumbs. Come on, give me a break. All right, there's one. Let me check the oil temp. How we doing here? 250. I got 100 more degrees to go. We can get at least 2 more. All good by then. See, this is a little bit of a challenge because this rice is not firm enough. It's only been in the fridge for maybe an hour and a half. Ideally, you want to go like 4 hours with this thing, you know? So it's giving me a little bit of a tough time. I'm sorry I'm not able to read your guys' comments right now, but it's just a lot to deal with here. Maybe I'll take it. Oh no, I have the recipe open and I can't touch my computer with these hands. You don't want me ruining my MacBook, do you? Of course you don't. Except you do because you're on Twitch and you're probably all PC users. All right, there's number 2. Number 3, let me check my oil temp again. 280, we're still coming up. Reliably, beautifully. This is why you gotta go gas, people. None of this electric stove crap. Go electric range, don't go gas. Or I mean, don't go electric stovetop. Go gas stovetop. Please. All right, making sure this guy's good and coated in breadcrumbs. It's not hard to get them to stick because like they would stick to the rice anyway, probably. But that flour slurry is gonna sort of help make more of a cohesive crust around the rice as it fries. I think I'm gonna get all 4 done before that oil gets up to temp. There's number 3, and it's only 300. I'm gonna finish up all 4. And we're gonna be in good business here. We go to business. Go to business. Anybody? Any Kroll Show fans out there? How funny is John Mulaney? Am I right? Like I think he's the best stand-up working today. I think that he, when Louis C.K. left because he's a monster, a void was left in the stand-up community, and John Mulaney happily was there to be like, guess what? I'm the new funny man. And he's so innocent. There's no way he did anything screwy or terrible. I hope. You worry sometimes. What's everybody's favorite stand-up out there? I want to know the best, hottest young stand-ups working today.
Yeah, I'm also curious to know what your favorite comedy podcasts are.
Yeah, give me some comedy podcasts. I like the Onion did a great mock murder podcast that was really very funny. All right, I'm gonna try to crank on that camera, Jake, because we're pretty much ready to go over there. We got our balls all balled out. Okay, camera's on. Oil is up to temp. So, how we looking?
We're in business. You just got to give me a little focus, please. There you go.
There it is.
Ooh,
switch
yep.
over.
All right, let's bring it to him. Boom.
Let's hope that this guy doesn't overheat in time for dinner or whatever I'm trying to say right now. All right, let me grab some towels. Drop these in. Grab a couple towels. And here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Last one, come on baby. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that, they're almost covered. That's perfect. It means we just have to flip them a little bit. A few minutes, I'm gonna keep an eye on their temp. Sitting right at 356, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, look at that, huh? Give me a break. For once in your life, would you guys give me a freaking break? For God's sake, just give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, all right? I just want you to break me off the littlest piece of that Kit Kat bar. You gonna eat the whole thing? I'm starting to get a little punchy here. Because it gets pretty hot in here. Oh yeah, they're sticking together lovely like, well sort of until I just ripped that one. There we go, there we go. They're looking good, they're looking good. You stay on that camera, Jake, I'm gonna get the sauce ready. I'm chewing right now because I'm having bacon. All right, and hopefully this camera stays alive long enough for us to see the full frying process. But no guarantees, you know? It's 2018. Tell me something that's sure in life, and I'll tell you something that's not true. Oh yeah. Look at that arancini fry. I wish I drank more. That's an inside joke between just me and Sawyer. None of the 1,000 of you have any idea what I'm talking about. And that's okay. All right. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh my God. Look at these freaking guys. Ow. The oil's staying at a perfect temperature. It's still at 345, 350. It's exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to clear out the other area, so you can just stay on that camera. I'm just going to clear it out so we can get ready to plate up in just a moment.
Comment section, let me know if you want me to switch over and watch it clean.
Wait, the comments want to see me clean? Oh, you're asking them. I see.
Yeah, I think they like watching the balls fry though.
Yeah, no, who would want to watch me clean over watching balls fry?
They also want you to consider using a mirror instead of putting the camera directly over the stove.
That's not a bad idea. It would also negate any overheating issues that we're having here. That's actually a very good idea. Thank you, guys. That's a very good idea.
All right, so we're gonna rig a mirror up.
First thing we gotta do, buy a mirror. Step 2, hang it up. Oh, look at these guys going. Oh my God. Oh, get over yourself. Oh, get over yourself, you stupid rice balls. You think you're so great? Oh, look at that. Oh my God. They're almost done. Like not even a minute. They're done. And I'm gonna be able to plate them up and we're gonna be able to eat them. And let me tell you something. If you think I'm eating these rice balls without ripping my vape pen before I eat them, you're crazy. I wish I could incorporate bacon in this somehow. I bet it would be good if I got some bacon in there. All right, let me take a look here. These are pretty much done. We mustn't burn them. They've got this shatteringly crisp crust happening on the outside, which is just so exciting. Oh, this is just so exciting. I love a good arancini. And they're so easy to make, guys. Like, look at how quick. We thought we were gonna have to cut the episode off at what? It was 8:30. It's 9:05 now. We got some completed arancini. Hey man, that makes this like a solid 3-hour stream. This has got to be one of the all-time longest. All right, I'm gonna kill the heat on this. And then I'm going to place these on some paper towels, let them drain a little bit before we plate them up proper. Go. A little bit of saucy sauce. And just get this going here. I just want them to drain just the littlest bit. But look at that. I mean, come on. Get out of town. Just get out of town. Go on a trip. See some new places. Just get out of town, man. You have all these vacation days saved up. You've been crushing it every day at the office, and it's time for you to get out of town. Your wife, you guys have not been on a honeymoon since you got married. It's time you show that woman you love her, and you just take her. I'm not talking to anybody in particular, by the way. This is a hypothetical situation. All right, so we got these out, and we can get off that perilous camera A and bring it over to camera B, where you can see our arancini. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. We're back at camera A. We were at camera B. That was perilous. And I just drained them on the paper towels for a second. I don't want them to get soggy, but I also don't want them to be too oily. So it's nice to let them drain for just like a second. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, shut up. Okay. I mean, you know, let's get a cross section going on these guys. What do you say, folks? It's a cross section time. They're very hot, so I'm gonna throw a glove on because that can help with the temp a little bit. So I'm just gonna throw a glove on because these are fresh out the damn fryer. And I don't want to burn my precious digits. I need them for work, you know. While these cool off for a sec, let me talk with y'all. What's going on? Oh, you ready for the crunch? Here comes a crunchy cross section, folks. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get the mic down here so you can hear the crunch. Ready? Oh yeah. Ooh, cheese came out a little bit. A little bit of nice melty cheese. Oh, the cheese is like melting into the rice. Let me see what it's like in the sauce here. Ow. Hot. Ow. It's hot. It's really quite good. It's full of melted cheese. Jesus, it's hot. But I mean, look at what you can do. Oh, come on. Get out of my house. Come on. Shut up. Ow. Come here. Oh my God. Oh, they're so good. Jake, you gotta get in here and try these things. Oh, hot. You have to be careful, they're hot. Whew. What are they saying? Yeah, they're hot. You got some sauce on there, though? Mm-hmm. Whew. Well, folks, there it is. Arancini. Let me do one more cross section to see if I can get a nice melty pull apart action here. So the key to getting a melty pull apart action is to cut it and then sort of squish it back together like that and then go, oh my God. Yeah, fuck off. There you go, folks. Arancini, an Italian specialty. All made fresh, being enjoyed by the thick boys. Thick boys unite. Ding. That's all she wrote. Well, Jake, thank you so much for helping me host this.
Thank you.
This
We're getting somewhere.
live stream. We're getting somewhere. We're sorry about any technical difficulties that we experienced, but thank you guys for the great idea of. What's called setting up a mirror, so we can.
Oh yeah, mirror on the ceiling next episode.
Keep our cameras cool. We can see both front and top vision. That's a good idea. And oh my God, look at these things. Look at the way they're melting right now. Look at that. I mean,
look at that dark brown crust.
Let me do it. Let me do a close up. Oh, I mean, give me a fucking break, guys. Come on. Give me a break. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Oh. All right.
All right.
That's it, folks. Yeah, I might have another bite myself. Oh my God! Get out of here. Come on, look at this. Shit. I dropped the cheese. There it is.
This is a mess.
What do they say? Rub it in the can. Thick. Thanks, Jake.
Go.
All right, folks. Whew, look how much I'm sweating right now because all that goddamn cooking. I hope you guys try this for yourself. This is really something special. If you don't have to make, butternut squash risotto at the same time, this is a very easy thing to make. It's something very impressive. It's delicious. It's beautiful. But also the butternut squash risotto is a very wonderful, wonderful thing to make for a date. Whoever said that on Reddit, or for somebody you care about, even if that somebody's yourself. So, thanks for getting down to basics with me, guys. Hope you have a beautiful night. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks, and hope there's nothing stuck in my beard. I'm all clear. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. Have a great night. Here's to you. There's nothing in here, but still here's to you.